followed by the hot tea.
You have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This cup has been compromised.
All right, welcome back, True Seeker. It is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary K. Hubbard. We're on every Wednesday night, Truth Frequency Radio. If you've never tuned in before, TFRlive.com. If you're listening on TFR and wondering why I would say that, again, I do stream on YouTube. There's some people who only watch through YouTube, but for people who don't know, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, 24/7, 365. Online radio streaming, a variety of voices, a lot of different opinions, and mostly good information. So, I was going to go live yesterday and talk about the death of Norm Macdonald, but I just decided not to because I thought, do I even need to present anything? Do I even need to even present anything about Norm Macdonald's death? And the reason I'm saying this is because the date was August 19th, 2017. I revealed something that day that was new information, and I said, we're going to watch this going forward. We're going to watch this pattern going forward. And every single month since August 19th, 2017, I've made a video on the date that's just like it, which happened to be yesterday. So I kind of broke the pattern by not making the video yesterday because I just didn't even know. I'm so tired of coming on and saying the same thing every single month and the world not catching on. So let me take you back to August 19th, 2017 to set up the death of Norm Macdonald, the newsman from Saturday Night Live, who was considered a comedian. On August 19th, 2017, another man who was considered a comedian died, and that was Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory died at age 84, and we know all about 84. But the thing about August 19th, 2017, the day he died, is it was a date having numerology of 64 and 44, and these dates come up once a month. Every month there's one date like this. This month it was September 14th. Next month it'll be October 13th. The month after that, it'll be November 12th. Then December 11th. And again, you get the numerology of 64 and 44 this way. September 14th, 2021. 9 plus 14 plus 20 plus 21 is 64. You can also do it as if you wrote out the date 9/14/21, leaving off the 20 part. 9 plus 14 plus 21 is 44. So you have 64 numerology, you have 44 numerology, depending on which path you take. In Gematria, if you write out the word kill, K-I-L-L, using the alphabetic order, A is the first letter, B is the second, C is the third. K becomes the 11th letter, I becomes the 9th, L becomes the 12th, L becomes the 12th. So 11 plus 9 plus 12 plus 12, the values of kill is 44. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, meaning you make Z1 and count back to A as 26, K becomes the 16th letter in reverse, I becomes the 18th, L becomes the 15th. If you add it up that way, kill equals 64. So when you get the numerology of 64 and 44, it corresponds with the gematria of kill, 64 and 44. Now what's interesting is the word comedian. Dick Gregory, when I first started documenting this pattern, the day he died had the 64-44 date numerology. 8 plus 19 plus 20 plus 17, 64. 8 plus 19 plus 17, 44. But the word comedian, when you run the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, and you use the rules of numerology, equals 44 and 64. So, we have Norm Macdonald, the comedian, dead at 61, who told the news on Saturday Night Live. In the years I've been doing this, there's been a number of news anchors who've dropped dead at age 61. The word news equals 61. So this is the comedian who did the news on SNL, right? And then for one more detail, he's dead at age 61. The name Norman Macdonald equals 61 as well. Going with news. Might be why he was chosen to be the newsman for SNL, in light of how the cabal, which controls even Saturday Night Live, it controls much of the world of entertainment. I think a lot of people understand that, just the predictive programming and the things they do on Saturday Night Live. For the person out there going, well, what about how he went by Norm Macdonald? Fair question. Norm Macdonald equals 55, and he died on the 257th day of the year, the 55th prime number. Remember last year on that date, Bill Gates' father died. Last year was a leap year. That was the 258th day of the year. William Henry Gates equals 258. If you write out the phrase number of the beast in words, it equals 258. Of course, Bill Gates was part of the Cladex pandemic simulation 666 days before the pandemic was declared. And with regards to his dad dying on the 258th day of the leap year, remember, he established his vaccine alliance, Gavi, July 12th, 1999, his 258th day of his age. And in Sumerian Gematria, vaccination equals 666, as does the word mandatory, which is interesting. So, anyhow, Norm Macdonald becomes the latest celebrity to die on the 44-64 date. And this pattern goes on every month. So many times it's been a comedian. It's not always a comedian. But also, they usually say that the celebrity died from cancer. Remember, just using your most simple cipher, the alphabetic order. Kill is 44, cancer's 44, chemo's 44. They said Norm Macdonald died from cancer. And again, it's just, I just always think about this truth community and even the other voices on this radio network, and I'm like, why does nobody share this information? Nobody cares about any of this? This undeniable information that exposes what's really going on? Did Norm Macdonald really die from cancer? Did all these celebrities that die month after month on the 44-64 date, usually listed from cancer, did any of them really die from cancer? Another question is, are any of them even really dying? Is this the way they escape the spotlight? Then they do a Norm Macdonald tribute, and all of his favorite fans tune in, and they make even more money off the advertising. It's just... Again, death sells in this world, and these people do have insurance policies on them, so there is a reason to often buy the numbers, when you're a soulless bastard, which is the average quality of the type that runs this world, unfortunately. Okay. With regards to yesterday being the 257th day of the year, the 55th prime, the day Norm Macdonald, 55, died on, Gavin Newsom, of course Gavin Newsom was going to get re-election. This whole thing's a joke, Think about it. The left coast and the East Coast, right? You just had the big Jesuit distraction with Cuomo. Now you're out on the West Coast in California, you got the Jesuit distraction with Gavin Newsom. These are two Jesuit-educated governors, two of the faces of coronavirus. And they said the reason Gavin Newsom hung on yesterday, they said he might have been out of there if it weren't for Larry Elder becoming involved in the race, which took away some of the votes that might have went towards Newsom's opponent. But yesterday was the 257th day of the year, right? The 257th day of the year, the 55th prime number, and guess what Larry Elder equals? 55, just like Norm Macdonald. One headline, you're reading about the death of Norm Macdonald. Another, you're reading about how Larry Elder helped tip the scales for Gavin Newsom, the Jesuit pawn. And with regards to yesterday being September 14th, 14/9, like 149, there's a lot of things that are special about that number. Remember what we pointed out last year when Bill Gates' father died on that day? If you write out skull and bones, it equals 149. And they identify by the number 322. And Bill Gates' father died 322 days after Bill Gates' birthday. 322, the number of skull and bones 149. Again, if you've never seen the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, please watch that movie. Came out right before 9/11, begins with the assassination of a senator because he refused to get on board with a new bill that's going to create domestic surveillance over the population, so they get him out of there. And again, that's right before 9/11, right? But right before the overdrive building of the surveillance state that we now very much live in, that's been hyper-accelerated even more with coronavirus. But in Enemy of the State, you'll see that he looks down at his watch, and it's 3:22. If you pause it right there, you'll notice it's an hour and 49 minutes into the movie. Skull and Bones 149. Skull and Bones identifies by 322. Last year, Bill Gates' father dead on 14/9, 322 days after Bill Gates' birthday. These numbers come together a lot. What was the FBI guy that was doing the thing with Trump? They did a big 149-322 ritual with him, but I forget it. We covered it at the time. There's been other. I mean, they bring these numbers together ritualistically. And with regards to Skull and Bones, the powerful secret society at Yale that has a lot to do with government, remember, they get their symbolism from the way the Knights Templar buried their dead in an ossuary, which is where the skull and crossbones symbolism comes from. And it's also related with pirates, and there was a period of history where the Knights Templar were pirates at sea. But the Knights Templar are the old military order of the Catholic Church, and today the military order of the Catholic Church is the Jesuit order, and in their symbol is the Knights Templar cross. So you have Gavin Newsom, the Jesuit, right? And then on this day, you have the recall that has the Skull and Bones connection. And again, these are the entities that are controlling our society and making a mockery of us in doing it, and doing it very ritualistically and very repetitive patterns. Remember, Bill Gates is part of this Jesuit network. He's building Jesuit high schools in the nation. His ex-wife, like I said in my book, Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus, I said it looked like they were only married for the ritual of the planned pandemic. Married on the first day of 94, coronavirus pandemic 94. There's a whole lot more to it. But they got divorced by the ritualistic numbers. Remember, they got divorced 87 days from Bill Gates' birthday, and they supposedly met in 87, and Bill Gates equals 87. If you do number of the beast with numerology instead of 258, it equals 87 as well. But Melinda Gates from the Jesuit family, having the August 15th birthday, the same day the Jesuits were created in history. So again, Jesuit Skull and Bones ritual with him last year. This year, Gavin Newsom, and next year it'll probably be, one of the familiar names that we talk about already all the time. It's just that's why when you learn the knowledge in the code, you just see how it all comes together. With regards to 149, it's the 35th prime number. Remember, the Jesuits and the Knights Templar served the Catholic Church. Catholic equals 35, like the first Catholic president was number 35, JFK. And the Vatican, where it resides, they call it the Holy See, See like with your I, S-E-E, which equals 35. The word I, just using the most simple cipher, is 35. Genesis 3:5 is about the I. And again, all of these rituals are about capturing people's attention, their mind's eye, keeping them focused on what they want them focused on, taking the sides the way they want the people to divide over the issues that are, put out there for bait like them, the Gavin Newsom types, the Cuomo types, the coronavirus types, all this stuff, you guys. Every day we are fed these rituals, that are meant to take our time and our attention. And again, really make us pick sides and continuously fight over the things that we're baited with instead of against the tyrants who rule over us and overtax us and lie to us and keep us buried in fear and propaganda. This is the game, you guys, that goes on every single day. And then you see that the people who are the chess pieces on the boards, if you will, the Gavin Newsom types, the Donald Trump types, the Joe Biden types, the, Mr. Macdonald from SNL types. All of these people are different chess pieces, but what we all see is when they go out in the headlines, they go out ritualistically too. I mean, that's how evil this gang is. They use these people for evil. They take them out in an evil way. They present nonstop evil to us. And again, you guys, it's tough for me each day to keep doing this because I know that what I have taught is dead on. It just repeats day after day. It's undeniable day after day, and it's like, God, where is humanity at in the information age when everyone's carrying around a computer in their pocket connected to the World Wide Web and can easily share with a million different people on their email, their social media? I mean, it seems like if there's such a powerful message exposing what's wrong, it seems like it should just spread, just so quickly. And at times, there's been times where it felt like that happened with my work, but it's just so rare. And not just my work too, just everybody who's doing important stuff. And I guess part of the thing is people just aren't looking for the answers. But yeah, it just. To put it in 12-year-old terms, man, it just sucks. It sucks. It sucks to watch this stuff go on day after day, and the patterns and just so persistent. And I don't know, man. It seems like as time goes on, I reach less and less people too. That's the other thing that's just so frustrating, and that's the censorship. Also in the news today, just breaking just hours ago, SpaceX launches its first all-tourist crew into orbit, and the lucky winner just happened to be an employee of Lockheed Martin, a 42-year-old from Lockheed Martin, the war machine company, part of the fascist Jesuit empire. But there's two things to say about this, and again, remember, in D.C., where the federal concept came for a space program that now SpaceX uses the federal facilities to do its private launches. There's two things to point out here. From Elon Musk's birthday to today's launch is 79 days. And remember, Society of Jesus is 79. Big number with them, just like how the pandemic was declared on Anthony Fauci's 79th day of being 79 years old. And then the other thing is, today is 15/9, and Scottish Rite equals 159. And again, the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in D.C., like the Jesuits, and the 32nd degree of the Scottish Rite shares the motto with the Jesuits at Marum Dei Gloriam. And again, just perfect ritual, bringing together Jesuit and Scottish Rite. These are both things that are related to, secrecy, militarism, the history of the space programs. Remember, the first moon mission, they brought the Scottish Rite Freemason flag up there, right? And then the mission landed on July 20th, the 201st day of the year, and Neil Alden Armstrong equals 201, who brought with him the Freemason flag. And when you write out the Jesuit order, it's 201. And of course, the Jesuits created modern Freemasonry. So, what a perfect ritual. And with regards to 79, Boris Johnson, who's at 10 Downing Street, and right above the door on 10 Downing Street is the Jesuit order's logo. His mother just died at 79. We know that Society of Jesus Forward's 56 and reverse 79. Her name, Charlotte Wall, equals 56. Dead at 79. All the articles written about her had to mention that she was divorced from Boris's father in 1979. And it was 86 days after It was 86 days after Boris Johnson's birthday. Again, blood sacrifice and human sacrifice, 86. And Downing is 86 too. Just like 10 Downing Street. Jesuits, the plural's 86. The Jesuit logo over their door. So, remember, the Jesuits were created on August 15th. 15/8, Boris Johnson equals 158. He replaced Theresa May 158 weeks after she took office on the nose. When he locked down London on, remember the 5th of November, that was his 158th day of his age, the day known for the Jesuit Guy Fawkes gunpowder plot. Of course, Guy Fawkes mask made famous for V for Vendetta, now worn by Anonymous. And so, those were some of the headlines this week. For all of you who follow the NFL, you might have saw that the former 49er and Saints linebacker Paris Harrelson dropped out at age 37. the day of Monday Night Football, the opening week of the NFL season. He died 133 days from his birthday. Football equals 133 in Gematria. That was the Monday Night Football game in Las Vegas, Nevada, which also equals 133. You might recall Tupac Shakur died in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the day of that Monday Night Football game in history 25 years ago, September 13th. His last album he put out was All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me equals 133, like Las Vegas, Nevada. Like football. The album came out on February 13th. He died 213 days later from a drive-by shooting, which equals 213. But the football game that was played on the anniversary of Tupac's death, did you catch that it was Baltimore and the team that used to be in Oakland who just moved to Las Vegas? Again, Tupac moved to Baltimore when he was 13, and from there he moved to Oakland, where he learned to become the rapper that he was. That's his life story. And then he died in Las Vegas. So you got the Raiders from Oakland, now in Vegas, and Baltimore. Again, I'm always teaching guys about how they sync up the NFL and the WWE. The WWE Championship just happened to be that night, and did you see who won it? A guy named Biggie. Does that not remind you of Tupac? Tupac and Biggie? The rap rivalry, Tupac dies, then Biggie dies. Right after Tupac put out the song Hit 'Em Up, the diss on Biggie where he talked about how he slept with his wife and a lot of not nice other things. And again, you guys, it's the same Jesuit cabal behind all of this. The Society of Jesus is just so clear. You know, the Tupac album, Machiavelli, that released right after his death, named after Machiavelli from Italy, like the Jesuits, like the Catholic Church, who faked his death, Machiavelli. But the Tupac album Machiavelli came out on November 5th. Remember the 5th of November, the day associated with the Society of Jesus. And what's that album cover? It's Tupac on the cross like Jesus, not to mention in Gematria, Machiavelli equals Jesus, equals cross, equals Messiah, equals gospel, equals parables, and all in the most simple cipher. You know, the name Tupac and Jesus are the same forwards and backwards. And same with cross. And again, it's Tupac on the cross with the alias Machiavelli. But again, I mean, what could be more obvious than it being the Society of Jesus? And it just goes to show who's running the WWE as well. Biggie wins the championship on the anniversary of Tupac's death. I mean, this stuff, you guys, is just so twisted and dark. And I mean, it's sick jokes every day. And every time a comedian dies, like Norm Macdonald, that couldn't be any more clear. Now, with regards to all of this coming from the Bible, I got to say shout out to Chev Chelios. This was an awesome observation. I don't know if anybody else had ever observed this before. But remember in Gematria, Revelation equals 149. 149. Again, that's the 35th prime, Catholic 35. We wouldn't know the English translations of the Bible without the Catholic Church as we do. But Revelation 14:9 goes, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," that's how the verse ends. I'm not ending it there. That's just how the verse ends. The Bible's funny like that, right? You'd look at that and you'd be like, why does it end like that? That seems awkward. And it is awkward. And the reason it ends like that is because of Gematria. Because guess what all those words add up to in Gematria? They add up to 666, right? 666, the number of the beast, the mark of the beast. Revelation 149, that's Revelation 14:9. Revelation 14:9 equals 666. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And again, that's why they simulated this pandemic that we're now living out. The supposed pandemic 666 days before the pandemic was declared. Again, that's the whole thing with 666. You must accept it if you want to buy or sell. How many people have now been put in the situation because of this pandemic that they have to do something that they'd probably rather not do if they want to buy or sell, have a job, go in a store, go on an airplane, go to a concert, go to a sports game. And don't forget, this is exactly what we predicted they would do at the beginning. They wouldn't make it mandatory, the government, just all these private entities that are all part of this Jesuit fascist empire would make it required. That's exactly what I said a year and a half ago. I said, just watch, when the vaccines come, this is how they'll get people to take it. They'll make it so you need to have it to get in anywhere. It's just so predictable, you guys, because it shouldn't be a secret to anyone that government and major corporations that dominate the landscape as you drive across the nation and you see the same big box stores all over, you know, your credit card's always telling you to go shop at these big box stores. You'll get this discount back, and you're like, man, how can I? Man, that's gonna. If I've been needing to buy that, that's gonna get me another $20 in my wallet. Again, this is how, you guys. It's just like it's a big club. The banks, the government, you know, the big box stores, and they steer everybody to just keep investing in their thing as they drive out all the other competition. Till they got a nation of serfs totally dependent on them. And I mean, that's almost where we are. We might already be there. So, anyhow, I wanted to start out like that, Truth Seeker. Just talk about some of the news. And, yeah, I hope by next month, you know, when the 4464 date rolls around, somehow I won't even have to do the video. Just everybody will be uploading their content. This Gematria thing is so real. I just wish I wish when I searched Gematria and did an upload by the latest, there'd be 1,000 new videos from the day before. People who just discovered Gematria and got inspired to make their own video. There's just, I mean, I'm grateful for everyone in the world who's created their own place and is uploading content and sharing content. It's just more people got to do it, you guys. The more people doing it, the more minds it's going to reach, the more undeniable it's going to become. I hear the commercial break coming on real quick. We'll be right back. Rambo will be here next, and then we're taking your calls the rest of the night. Truth Seeker, sit tight. Quick break. I got to grab some water anyhow. Be right back.
Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite. Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
All right, we're back, True Seeker, and we are going out to Rambo without any pause. How you doing tonight, Rambo?
Thanks again, Zach.
Yeah, of course, you're always welcome.
All right. Well, after the recent anniversary of 9/11, I thought this observation would be appropriate. The title is Elements of 9/11 in Other Rituals. So the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were damaged by suicide bombers in an act of terrorism. Most people would associate those elements, Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, suicide bombers. Most people would associate that with September 11th, 2001, and the bombing of the World Trade Center in New York City. But the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were damaged reportedly by suicide bombers in a terrorist attack over 5.5 years before 2001 World Trade Center event in New York City. On January 31st, 1996, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in Colombo, Sri Lanka, were under construction when they received considerable damage in a terrorist attack on the Sri Lankan capital's financial district. The attack was linked, it was part of, Sri Lanka was undergoing a civil war at the time, which has since ended, and it was blamed on a separatist group called the Tigers of Tamil Elam, or most popularly known as the Tamil Tigers. In this event, we see many of the same elements as we do when we analyze September 11th from an esoteric lens in New York City. And the most vivid is the Twin Towers, the Twin Pillars. Twins represent Gemini. The symbol for Gemini in the zodiac is twins. The planet Mercury rules the sign of Gemini. Mercury is a planet. Mercury is also a Greco-Roman god. The planets and the gods, which the gods are basically anthropomorphisms of the effects and the energy, the vibration of the planets. So that's what the gods are. So the god, a Greco-Roman god, Mercury, Hermes in Greece, ruled over multiple realms, that influenced multiple realms on Earth. And that is clear in these rituals. One of the realms ruled by Mercury is finance. So the word finance, financial gain, and commerce. The word commerce has M-E-R-C, commerce, in it, as it's a nod to Mercury, commerce. Also, the word merchant starts with M-E-R-C, merchant. That's also a reference to Mercury as a god of financial gain and commerce. So hence the twin pillars, the Gemini symbol, Gemini ruled by Mercury in a financial district. So Mercury is, to illustrate this, Mercury is often depicted holding a bag of gold as an indication of his influence or the planet's influence on that realm. And I showed a picture, I posted a picture of a major veneration or homage or acknowledgement of Mercury as a ruler of the realm of finance in the upstate New York city of Rochester. In Rochester, New York, in downtown, there is a statue on the top of a building of Mercury, the god Mercury, holding up a bag of gold. And I got some, I showed some pictures. One is of a close-up of the hand of Mercury holding the bag of gold. This symbolism is no coincidence. The Twin Towers were built in the financial district as a acknowledgement of Mercury, the god who rules finance, and also I show a note, a Sri Lankan monetary note, and it depicts the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, the Sri Lankan World Trade Center, and the Twin Towers appear on its money. Now, there's a lot of Mercury. When you understand the symbolism of Mercury, you see the Mercury symbol, the money, the finances, the twin pillars, Gemini ruled by Mercury. It's all there on the Sri Lankan. It's a 500 rupee note, banknote, which shows the twin pillars. And so 88 is a major Mercury number. That's because the planet Mercury has an 88-day orbital cycle. It takes 88 days for 88 Earth days for Mercury to complete one revolution around the sun. So Mercury, you'll see 88 a lot in Mercury-related rituals like this one. So the twin pillars appear on the 500 rupee note of Sri Lanka. In Gematria, 500 rupees, with 500 spelled out, 500 rupees sums to 88. So that's more a Mercury reference. The terrorist attack that damaged the Twin Towers under construction is known as Colombo Central Bank bombing. That's the official title of that whole event. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka was established on August 28th, 1950. That is a date in Virgo, not by coincidence, which is further homage to Mercury because the planet Mercury also rules the zodiac sign of Virgo. So opening a central bank on a date under Virgo is, again, a nod to Mercury. In reverse Gematria, reverse ordinal Gematria, Mercury comes to 86. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka was founded on a date with 86 numerology. So it was August 28th, 1950. 8 plus 28 plus 50 comes to 86. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Gemini comes to 105 in Gematria. The founding date of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka is also 105 numerology. 8 plus 28 plus 19 plus 50 is 105. That's a reference to Gemini, which is a reference to Mercury. No coincidence that the bank was founded on a day under Virgo, which is also ruled by Mercury. This is the god of finance in Greco-Roman mythology. So each of the twin towers of the Colombo World Trade Center had 43 floors. Remember that Mercury comes to 86, and the bank was open at 86 date numerology. If each tower has 43 floors, then that's a total of 86 floors between the two of them. And this all has to do with Mercury, because Mercury comes to 86. The zodiacal detriment was at play in this ritual. Every planet, not including Earth, rules at least one zodiac sign and has a detriment, which is the sign directly opposite it in the zodiacal wheel. So a detriment means that when a planet is in the sign opposite it, that planet is at its weakest. So directly opposite Gemini, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, is Sagittarius. When the planet Mercury is in Sagittarius, Mercury is at its weakest, and vice versa. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. When Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, Jupiter is at its weakest. So that's called that's very significant to zodiacal detriment. So directly opposite Pisces, and Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, is Virgo, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So the signs ruled by the signs ruled by Mercury are always directly opposite the signs ruled by Jupiter, because they're kind of they're polar opposites. That's what they are. They're not necessarily, it's more complicated. They actually can work in sync the way a battery works. If you have polar opposites in a battery, that's where you get energy. So it's not necessarily detrimental. They also need each other for balance because they're polar opposites. So in the zodiac, that sign directly opposite you is a very unique relationship, the one directly opposite. So September 11th was in Virgo. Again, that's Mercury. So Osama bin Laden, he was born March 10th. He was Pisces, so that's the opposite. Pisces is opposite Virgo. So that was at play on 9/11. And Pisces represents the detriment of Mercury. And that's why Osama bin Laden, they say his birthday was March 10th, Pisces. So the planet Jupiter, which rules Pisces and Sagittarius, it's very distinct in its appearance. It has these thick horizontal orange stripes. For that reason, in astrology, the tiger represents the planet Jupiter, because the tiger has orange stripes. So it's a orange striped animal. So the tiger represents Jupiter, which I've talked about often. The Colombo Central Bank bombing was officially attributed to the liberation tigers of Tamil Elam, or they're better known as the Tamil Tigers. Again, this is all astrological symbolism. The twins being attacked by the tiger. The tiger represents Jupiter, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The founder and leader of the Tamil Tigers is Velupillai Prabhakaran, and he was born on November 26th in 1954, which makes him a Sagittarius. And again, not by coincidence. You have Osama bin Laden, a Pisces, destroying at least accused of destroying the World Trade Center in New York. Now you have a Sagittarius accused of attacking the financial district and causing some destruction to the World Trade Center in Sri Lanka. So this is the ritual theme consistently. So his first name, this is the leader of the Tamil Tigers, the Sagittarius. His first name is Velupillai, which sounds to 119, like 11th September, 119. From Velupillai Prabhakaran's November 26th, 1954, day of birth, to Osama bin Laden's March 10th, 1957 day of birth, is a period of 119 full weeks. That's 119. So it's 109 weeks plus 2 days, but it's 119 full weeks between their birthdays for a major 119.
Rainbow, something else I see in this is his birthday is the day leaving 35 days left in the year, and I is 35, and all seeing I is 119. They like to bring these numbers together, 35 and 119. So I see it in this man as well.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good observation. Yeah, it's the same elements. So, so the Twin Towers of World Trade Center Colombo opened on October 12th, 1997, which is a date in 119 numerology. 10 plus 12 plus 97 is 119. Again, this was over 5.5 years before September 11th, 2001. So all these numbers were there, and symbolism. There is synchronicity in the theme of destruction of towers, twin towers. Another 9/11 predictive program was Back to the Future, the sci-fi classic everybody's familiar with. And it featured the Twin Pines Mall. And the Marty McFly When it used to be when before Marty McFly traveled back to the past, the mall in Hill Valley, California, was called Twin Pines Mall and had two pines as a logo symbolizing twin pillars. But when he time traveled to the past, he destroyed one of the pine trees, and so when he came back to the present, there was only one pine tree which he destroyed in the past, and he found that the name of the mall was changed to the Lone Pine Mall. But this is symbolic of either destroying one pillar out of two, or, as we see in the World Trade Center, two pillars being destroyed and being replaced by one building. Now you have the one World Trade Center. It's like two becoming one. So that symbol was pretty clear there. And I show some frames from the movie. It clearly shows the time just before Marty McFly travels back to the past at the Twin Pines Mall, and it's 1:16 a.m., 1:16. That's a 9/11 upside down. But when he comes back, and it's Lone Pine Mall, it's 1:33 a.m., 1:30. So 1:33 is also significant. All these numbers are significant. So in Gematria, Tamil Tigers sums to 133. Their full name, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam, sums to 133. The Twin Pillars are also features of Solomon's Temple. The twin pillar of the World Trade Center, the Building 7, which is the middle pillar, was occupied by the Salomon brothers, which Salomon is Solomon in Latin. And the pillars of Solomon also represent the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn when they're turned horizontally. The Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn are 47 degrees apart. That's why the Building 7, Salomon Brothers building, had 47 stories high. These are all references to Solomon's Temple. So Salomon Brothers building sums to 133. The twin pillars of Solomon's Temple are the pillar of Jachin and the pillar of Boaz. The pillar of Boaz sums to 133. In the Bible's Old Testament, a famous collapse of twin pillars occurs when Samson brings down the temple of Dagon by destroying twin pillars. In between twin pillars, he brings them down, and the temple of Dagon collapses. That's another famous collapse, that symbolism of collapse of twin pillars. Temple of Dagon sums to 133. So this is a significant numbers in the symbolism of destroying the twin pillars. So now, in case it may seem unreasonable to attribute these Greco-Roman traditions and imagery to an event that occurs in Sri Lanka, which is a country of a completely different culture that does not have a Greco-Roman tradition to it, so it may seem like a stretch. But then you have to consider, this is a very important image to see. Well, Sri Lanka was a former British colony. And of course, this kind of imagery is important to the British Empire, which is, now, when you analyze, Gematria and the esoteric imagery, you have to wonder if the British Empire was just another manifestation of the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire it never died. It just changed its facade. And the British Empire was most likely part of that facade of the Roman Empire. So this is a very important image. It's the old Parliament building in Colombo, Sri Lanka. And it's a pretty spectacular Greco-Roman, multiple Greco-Roman buildings put together. It's very strikingly Roman in appearance, with the pillars, and they actually appear to be a series of temples. Actually, that's what it looks like, a series of Roman temples. And this is a great picture because in the background of these Greco-Roman architecture, you see the twin pillars of the World Trade Center in Colombo. So it's not a stretch to suggest that this Greco-Roman, Mercury, Jupiter, that this imagery and symbolism is being used in a country like Sri Lanka, because you see the Greco-Roman influence right there, and it came through the British. So there's the number 127, which is very significant to a World Trade Center, because buildings 1, 2, and 7 came down famously, from the World Trade Center. So combinations of 1, 2, and 7 are key to this ritual. September 11th was called the New Pearl Harbor, and as we know, in 1941, Pearl Harbor occurred on December 7th, which is 127. So the Colombo World Trade Center is located in Echelon Square, and Echelon sounds to 127. World Trade Center Colombo sums to 127. And it was World Trade Center Colombo was officially opened by Sri Lankan president, the then president, Chandrika Kamaratunga, whose name sums to 127. So, a significant number there. Now, from the 2001 anniversary of the January 31st, 1996, Colombo Financial District bombing to September 11th, 2001, was a span of 7 months, 12 days. So including both beginning and end date. So that's another 7, 1, and 2 reference there. So after the January 31st bombing, the Tamil Tigers are said to have orchestrated another deadly terror attack in Sri Lanka. Again, in the next attack, there was Mercury symbolism present again. And this was the Dehiwala train bombings. Now, Mercury also rules the realm of transportation and traveling. In the most vivid example I like to give is New York City's Grand Central Terminal, which is arguably the most famous transportation hub in the world. On its southern facade, it has a spectacular statue of Mercury, the Roman god Mercury, and the title of the statue is Transportation. So that's the most vivid example of how, yes, Mercury is honored as the god of transportation in a very conspicuous and vivid manner. So this is why airplanes were used on September 11th, which again, September 11th is Virgo ruled by Mercury, destroying twin pillars are symbol of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. This is all Mercury symbolism. And also this is why the Virgo, Lyndon B. Johnson, was sworn in as president on Air Force One. Now, why would you swear in a U.S. president, which is a really big deal with swearing in a president of the United States, in midair on Air Force One? You would do some of that before taking off or after you land. But no, you see pictures of LBJ being sworn in. Everybody's cramped. Not as many people are present as could be. This was a Mercury ritual. And remember that JFK had just been assassinated. He was a Gemini, again ruled by Mercury, and he was assassinated in a limousine, which is a form of transportation. These are all Mercury symbolism. And the date in which JFK was assassinated and LBJ became president was November 22nd, which is the first day of Sagittarius. So again, that's the opposite of the antithesis of Gemini and Mercury. So again, trains are transportation. They allude to Mercury. So the bombing on July 24th, 1996, the Dehiwala train bombings, had a Mercury element there. Now the date they occurred, July 24th, 96, had 127. Again, those numbers, 127 numerology. 7 plus 24 plus 96 is 127. Officially, they say there were 64 deaths. This is also a Mercury code because the magic square of Mercury is 8 by 8. Again, the orbital cycle of Mercury is 88 days. So the magic square of Mercury is 8 by 8. There's another 88, which will give you a total of 64 squares. So 64 deaths by bombing trains, transportation. This is clearly Mercury symbolism. And Gematria reveals the connection between the two dark rituals, acts of sorcery, which is what they are. The official title, Dehiwala train bombings and World Trade Center Colombo have multiple overlaps. And again at 127. Plus a couple of other ciphers. So, yeah, these are the elements that were in the 9/11 that were seen in abundance before that. There's also a connection with Joe Burrow. I mean, for those who are familiar with football, Joe Burrow is a quarterback. I've talked about this before. The quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are a tiger. He went to LSU. They're called the Tigers. So he went to a college named the Tigers. Then he goes to the pros, plays for the Bengals, Tiger symbolism. And he's a Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is represented by the tiger. So, yeah, Joe Burrow comes to 127. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, so he's just like this Tamil tiger leader who's a Sagittarius, and he's part of a group called the Tigers. So you're seeing this theme over and over. So, yeah, and also another disclaimer I must make. I'm not saying that this doesn't mean that Jupiter is... I always have to make this disclaimer. This does not mean that Jupiter is evil and Mercury is good. No, this is just the ritual. So they are just drawing. These are sorcerers. They'll draw from each planet whatever source of power they want for their act of sorcery. So for this, they want the negative side of Jupiter, but Jupiter is actually considered the most positive planet, ironically. It's called the greater benefic, but for their ritual, they need, for their reasoning, they need the negative side of Jupiter. So I just want to make it clear. This doesn't mean that Jupiter is evil and Mercury is good. That's just the sorcery.
Quick commercial break. We'll be right back, everybody. Sit tight.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Karanism Raw with Karen and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Rob Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll-free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
14 feelings are hurt in a local teasing incident. It's the Onion Radio News. This is Doyle Redland reporting. An estimated 14 feelings were hurt and 3 prides seriously wounded today when a group of preteen girls were teased by a larger, more popular group of girls. Spectators near the scene reported words like skank and loser were fired at the girls, leaving the victims devastated.
Some people say they heard girls chanting, "You ugly, you ugly," but we cannot confirm those rumors at this time.
Emergency Emotional Services technician Liz Brownstein. The victims were rushed to the crying ward at a local hospital where doctors say they remain in extremely criticized condition. The circus industry is reeling from a crushing blow this year as it battles the worst plague of carnival weevils since the caramel storm of 1938. Cotton candy farmer Earl Buggum is one of many farmers to be wiped out by the plague.
I know the government has emergency stockpiles of cotton candy. Why don't they open those up?
Experts say this is the worst carnival food-related natural disaster since the 1964 circus peanut shortage, which left thousands of children severely undersugared. A drug-dealing scientist's suspicions were confirmed today after what was thought to be a substandard batch of methamphetamine tested positive after extensive meth lab research. Meth technician Vincent Diego is concerned about the ramifications of the lab's findings.
God fucking when I fucking find him! When I fucking, I'm gonna fucking, you got dead fucking man!
The drug trade industry is calling for a more rigorous peer review of Diego's results, the findings to be published in the Methamphetamine Journal of Science and Technology. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
You must unite what has been set aside.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question third.
This code has been compromised.
All right, we're back. True Seeker got interrupted by that commercial. Rambo's still with us. Want to make sure he's finished all of his thoughts, and then we'll be taking your calls the rest of the night. If you want to call in, it is the number on the screen, 213-233-3998. Rambo, sorry about that interruption.
Yes. Actually, no, I was finished. The timing was perfect.
I thought you might have been finished, but who knew? Maybe you had another thought. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us tonight?
Well, no, that was pretty detailed. There's another incident that happened, which is along these lines. This happened after 9/11 in 2015 in Mecca. It was on September 11th in Mecca. A crane collapsed and killed 111
Yep.
exactly, Muslim pilgrims in Mecca. And the crane belonged to Bin Laden Construction.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest construction company in the Middle East. This Bin Laden Construction. So there's Bin Laden Construction causing 111 deaths on September 11th. So that's another parallel.
Also, that big cube that's there, Kaaba, has the Gematria 119 as well. I remember covering that like it was yesterday. Was that really 2015? I'm having trouble believing it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was 2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly on September 11th.
I remember covering that story.
They say the reason the crane collapsed was because a bolt of lightning hit it. They even have a photograph. I mean, a bolt of lightning hitting a crane. I don't know if that's the one. And as you know, this ties into what I'm talking about with Jupiter. Jupiter is the lightning is associated with Jupiter. So that was another Jupiter reference, saying the lightning is what caused it. But there's Jupiter, there's Bin Laden, 9/11. It's all there as well.
Indeed. But by the way, I want to remind people about the Back to the Future shot that you have up there with the Twin Pines Mall and the Lone Pine Mall. 1:33 a.m. is the 93rd minute of the day, and if you write out one World Trade Center, it equals 93 in Gematria and the most pure cipher, just like you had the 93 World Trade Center bombing and all the other 93s with September 11th. And then 1:16 a.m. is the 76th minute of the day. Remember, Skull and Bones equals 76, and the sitting president during the time of 9/11, his birthday is July 6th. That's also the Skull and Bones member Daniel Coit Gilman's birthday, who founded the John Hopkins University, and the John Hopkins University equals 322. But, but brilliant work as always. I didn't even know about those twin towers in Sri Lanka. It's amazing how it all comes together. It should be pointed out that the 127... special numbers, so many rituals with those numbers. Again, 127 is the 31st prime, 31's the 11th prime. The buildings look like an 11. And if you write out Bavarian Illuminati, it's 127. If you write out Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, it's 127. The Illuminati, founded by the Jesuit, was aimed on infiltrating and establishing more control within Freemasonry. So, Yeah, just another brilliant decode, Rambo. I'm always amazed at the things you find. Sometimes they're not the things that most people are into, but I mean they're just all. It's just amazing. It just shows the same symbolism as all over the world. So very cool.
Yeah, thanks. When you if you can identify as much as possible, I'm from the outside. I'm not an insider. I mean, as an outsider, if you can identify to the best of your ability the core. I try to get to the core of the ritual, like what is actually the ritual based on. Then it becomes easier to notice.
Sure.
So if you notice the fact that they're using the astrology and the symbolism of Jupiter and everything that goes along with Jupiter. The symbolism of the lightning bolt, our Jupiter, St. Peter, all that, and the Gematria numbers. Then it becomes easier. Like the tiger. I mean, the tiger's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's used. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So once you identify things like that, that's when a lot of these rituals become easier to notice.
Makes me wonder if the Bengals got a Thursday night game this season. So.
Yeah, usually it depends. They might line it up with a certain date. Maybe 99 days after, something significant or. Yeah, they line it up differently. Last year there were a bunch of Jupiter rituals. I mean, they just went crazy on the Jupiter rituals on the NFL last year.
Yeah. Let me see. Is September 30th a Thursday? September 30th, 2021 day of the week. Is that a Thursday? That is a Thursday. They do have a Thursday night game. At home against the Jaguars, September 30th.
Oh, okay.
Bengals.
Okay, we'll look out for that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, on that, in that theme, a player to look out for would be J.J. Watt. Like you had pointed out how Watt is an electrical term, and Jupiter is the planet.
He's on the Cardinals, though. He's on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Are you saying to just watch out for him when he plays on Thursday night?
Well, I mean, watch out for a ritual involving him. If, since clearly Jupiter's a major object of veneration, just because he has that name, the Watt and the 99.
Yeah.
So he might be involved in something.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. He got out of Houston the week the power went out. So.
Yep.
And again, we just had Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones die. At the same time, 911, the TV show's advertising the Los Angeles blackout season with the Rolling Stones music playing. Reminds that there's a Watts, California suburb of LA. And what's interesting is the other 9/11 date besides September 11th is November 9th. And that's the day leaving 52 days left in the year, and power outage is 52. So we'll see. I think we're going to see some more blackouts this winter. But
52 is also Enlil. It's a Sumerian original archetype for the god Jupiter.
Right.
That's Enlil. Enlil is and that's the thunder god, the storm god, because Jupiter's a storm planet, and flood lines up with Enlil, 3 out of 4 base ciphers. So Enlil actually goes to the heart of this. The Sumerian gods that actually goes to the heart of a lot of these rituals. Is the Sumerian war of the gods. I'll talk about it in depth later.
November 9th this year is a Tuesday, named after Mars, just like 9/11 was on a Tuesday. Rambo, you don't do that much on Mars.
I did I was doing some Mars stuff. Remember when they had the Mars rovers landing? All the work I did on the Mars.
I do recall that. I do recall that. But I'm just saying, you don't do as much Mars as Mercury and Jupiter. You're very focused on Mercury and Jupiter.
Yeah, I mean, there is some Mars. Like, 9/11 had a lot to do with Mars. I mean, I can bring up some Mars. For example, Tuesday, September 11th was on a Tuesday, which is Mars Day. And the new tower replacement, World Trade Center opened on November 3rd, which is under Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars. And also, if you look at the tarot card, the major arcana tarot card that I guess it's most obviously relates to September 11th, which is the tower card, which shows a tower being destroyed by a lightning bolt. That card actually represents Mars, the planet Mars. So yeah, there is and Mars is in Greco-Roman pantheon. Mars is the son of Jupiter, so Mars is directly related. Mars is also venerated on Capitoline Hill, where they had the temple Jupiter and the Capitoline Triad. Well, Mars was also venerated. It's a major god of Rome. And the United States Capitol, one of the entrances to the United States Capitol actually has a statue of Mars. And we know that the United States, since its founding, through to today, it's just endless wars. And Mars is the god of wars. But Mars is the son of Jupiter, so Mars is related. And if you put it in Sumerian terms, Enlil, whose Jupiter had two sons, he had multiple sons, but I think his second in command was Ninurta, also known as Ningirsu, and he represented Mars. And he has another son, Nergal, who also represents Mars, but I think Nergal was the Mars in Scorpio, Ninurta is Aries. So,
Okay.
I mean, there is a lot of Mars, which I'll do some more Mars work in the future.
Well, I look forward to it, Rambo. Thank you as always. Great work again.
All right, you're welcome. All right, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you take care. All right, another brilliant decode by Rambo. And with that said, let's go out to New York. Anthony, is this the same Anthony that came out to Seattle earlier this year? What's up?
No, it's not me. It's
Okay.
not him.
Well, thanks for calling in. What's going on?
This is Dr. Statmuse.
Oh man, Dr. Statmuse. I should have just. I'm not used to calling it TFR. Did you know it's TFR? What's going on, Dr. Statmuse?
It's the only way I could get in touch with you. Actually, I wanted to talk to you off the air. Is there any way? I know you're busy. Is there any way you could give me a little time at some point, maybe tomorrow?
I just took a screenshot, so I got your number. And that reminds me, for the person in Yakima who called me a few weeks ago, and I said I took the screenshot of your number and I'd call you, I screwed up and deleted the screenshot at the end of the night, and that's why I haven't called you. So if you want to call back in, I need your number again too. I'm sorry. But yeah, I saved your phone number. I can give you a call tomorrow.
I really appreciate it, Zach. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a good night, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Okay. All right, let's go out to 757. What's going on, 757? (757) Virginia?
Zach.
Yes.
Oh, I was just listening at first, but since I got through, is it true about Georgia Gaston saying in 2024 the population is supposed to be reduced? Do we see these people that took the vaccine not supposed to be here?
Well, again, the thing about the year 2024 is that's my speculation that maybe that's the year a serious agenda goes into motion to reduce population, because that'll be 44 years after they were officially established. And again, genocide's 44, Georgia's 44, kills 44, and like we just brought up with the vaccine, Pfizer's 44, military's 44. So I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
That's what I'm saying. They saying if they be here, then the vaccine is not dangerous, and we just making up everything. So they saying they if they still here. But I say there's an agenda behind this vaccine, and 2024 is a key opponent to it, because that's what it always said. By 2024, the population has to be reduced to a certain number. And I say it's for them to stay in control, because the people are slowly waking up. More and more of them waking up. And so that's how I see it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, I appreciate you listening.
And then,
oh, go ahead.
And I see there's a lot of things they doing now, like with the sports. They switching the narratives to they're not sticking with the riddle that they used to stick with now. They just changing it up now. So that's another time more people waking up too.
That's probably true.
You can't even really put your truth on a certain narrative that's actually sounding real good. Like, they'll go for this if it's sounding too good to be true. But sometimes it's too good to be true. Like Joe said, that was too good to be true. They even, do that in tennis, and you see it was like why didn't that come true? So like it's too good.
Yeah, they had him win 3. Right, they had him win 3 out of the 4. We thought at the beginning of the year Novak Djokovic would win all 4 Grand Slams, and he won the first 3 and went to the championship in the 4th and lost. Yeah, that was a little bit surprising. The guy who won it though did have the right name for the day. The guy who won it, his name equaled 129. He won it on 12/9, and
yeah, that's what I see. I see that happening too. The other side also have a narrative too, so I still see they still using the numbers. And what it's like they guarding against a lot of things. They do, like with the gymnastic girl. You know, there was a lot of people betting on her to win gold. Serena, you know, she supposed to win that and she got hurt. And, you know, it's like it's just a chance you're taking with anything now. It's like, yeah, I'll let y'all win this time. I ain't gonna let y'all win this time. You know, it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, they hold the cards. I mean, it's their game. They can rig it whatever way they want. And if too many people are onto their game and they're trying to take the people's money, they can definitely flip the script. You hear the announcers say it all the time. They just flip the script. So.
Yeah, because I know they flipped it on Pittsburgh game. Everybody know they flipped it on Pittsburgh game. So, you know, I see that. Okay, Zach. That's all I'm wanting to do.
All right. Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
All right, will do.
All right.
You take care. Okay, let's go out to Delaware. What's going on, Delaware?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
What's up, man?
Not too much. Is there a certain topic tonight, or is it just open? Because I kind of called in a little late.
Just whatever. Just try to keep it short.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just going to talk about the coronavirus thing still. I've been talking to more people trying to, get them to see where I'm coming from. And some of them, it's just hard to get through certain people. I bring up the fact that there's 9 billion people on Earth, there's 9 billion people within our population, and people are like, oh, well, I never thought about, the government making a vaccine to wipe out the population. I never thought about that. And it's like, how don't you see through, something so easy? And, most of these people are in my airline class, and I'm the only person who's told you this, but I don't like what I'm doing right now. And I know it's my fault for, pretty much giving up my whole entire energy and soul to American Airlines, to a big corporation. And I haven't even been there for 8 weeks yet, because the training is 8 weeks, which is, which is a 56 days, go figure, the coronavirus number. And I don't know, it's just, there's just a lot going on, and I don't want to be there right now to work, because I'd rather be out enjoying my life, getting up in the morning to go work out and enjoying the rest of my day, doing what I usually do. But I'm kind of stuck right now having to work, which I don't want to do. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things where I kind of have to bite my tongue, and I don't like wearing a mask at work. Sometimes I don't even wear it, and the instructor comes to me and says, you mind putting your mask on over your mouth and nose? And, I just do it and take it off sometimes, and he gets mad, and it's just, I just don't like where things are going.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I don't know.
I hear you. Well, you can always, you can always go to places where you don't have to do that. So, that's, you always got the choice, but.
Yeah, but one thing is though, they offer free travel incentives. So sometimes, come March, I could fly for free, like wherever in the world, like whether it's Australia or Europe or anywhere, come next year. So come March. So I wouldn't mind taking a visit. I wouldn't mind taking a visit to come see you on Washington. Just come meet you in person one day. So. I guess it has pros and cons, but I guess that's what happens when you sign your soul to a mega corporation.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of. You got to compromise yourself to get your paycheck. A lot of people are in that same boat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just hate giving in, because I don't want to be a good old Jesuit boy. I want to be who I am. I don't want to sell out. Yeah, that's one thing I never want to do is, sell out to your community or my friends, what I'm saying? But I guess like my family's happy for me. I have a job at American Airlines. My friends are, but I guess.
Well,
I
again,
guess I gotta bite my tongue and just do what I do.
yeah, I hear you. A lot of people having to do the same thing. Just whatever you do, don't sell out, man. Too many people have already done that, and I'm sure a lot of people are this time, man, because they're just like, God, I gotta get my paycheck. I guess I gotta do it. So that's how they got people, man.
Yeah, it's what
Money-driven world. Well,
yeah, that's what yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'll never sell out. Yeah, and hell no. I would just put in my notice or just quit and say screw it. You know, before they tell people to get the vaccine to stay employed like Delta Airlines just did. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, stay strong out there, and yeah, you're not alone. You have a good night, friend. Thanks for always supporting.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Take care. Okay. You know what? I was just reminded of something. I gotta say something real quick. Do you guys know Dr. Savage 84? Dr. Savage 84. He's in the chat a lot. He has his own YouTube channel. He's made some great finds. He's been a good helper of getting the word out there. He'd been missing for a while, and I wondered exactly what was going on with him. Him and I have our differences because he's a big flat earther, and I'm not into the whole flat earth thing. But he uploaded a post yesterday, if you follow his page, Dr. Savage 84, and it was I'd never seen his face before. I didn't know how old he was. He's actually younger than I thought he was. I imagined him being an older person. He's not that old. But he uploaded a picture of his face, and the reason he did that is to show what he just lived through. And, he had a dirt biking accident, and, I mean, you can read his post. He said everything that happened to him. He nearly died. And, I mean, it looks like it if you see the picture of him. And I just want to say, if you're out there, Dr. Savage, I'm thinking of you, man, and I hope you rest up. And I'm glad you survived, and I'm glad you're cognitive enough to write the very clear post that you did yesterday. I mean, it seems like you could have had all sorts of problems go wrong. But yeah, it just reminded me, you guys. I mean, when I read his post, it just made me think about just like, just all the stresses of the time, and just I'm imagining like he's stressed out. He's taking some stress out on his dirt bike. Maybe he's going a little bit faster, a little bit harder around the corner off the jump than he normally would, and it's just that little bit that made the difference in the crash. And again, I've just been angrier and feistier lately, and ultimately, that there's a time and place for anger, but it can also have its downside. So, if you're kind of raging through the world right now, just, be careful. Maybe take a deep breath. I mean, it is time to be rebellious and fight back and angry. There's a lot to be angry about, but at the same time, don't go kill yourself. I mean, Dr. Savage, based on what he shared, I mean, he was a thread from, not being able to write about it. And the other thing that honestly I thought about when I read his post is, I've never been mean to him or anything, but I was kind of giving him a hard time the last time I did see him in the chat, just about some of his comments he leaves about flat earth, because, again, I think the guy's an intelligent guy, but, the last time he was in here, I was just like, dude, your comment, I mean, is that the comment you want to ride home on? That's what, because he asked me in the chat, he was like, how do you explain the Earth's not flat based on the word horizon and horizontal? And I was just like, come on, man, I know you're an intelligent guy, but that post is not that smart. But at the same time, just seeing what he just went through, and the fact that he just nearly exited this place. Again, all things good and bad. I guess if you exit this place at this time of being, worse things could happen. But it's just like, it would have been sad to have found out that Dr. Savage wasn't here anymore in the last time him and I had an interaction. It wasn't necessarily a bad interaction, but it just, for everybody in the community, I just want, I don't know, just seeing Dr. Savage's thing. The other thing about Dr. Savage is he's a big Jesus guy. He believes a lot in Jesus and the flat earth. And, again, to each their own. I believe there's a God, a creator. I don't know about all this religious stuff and this middleman business, but again, like I'd always say, I don't think God cares what you believe in. God is going to be looking out for you, and if you do right in the world, God, he'll probably be there on your side when you need him. And I think Dr. Savage, regardless of being a flat earther and, his religious take, I think he's a good person. He cares about the truth. He's out there helping pump out the truth, and I just want to say I'm glad that Dr. Savage is alive because he almost wasn't. Again, check out his YouTube channel and check out what he posted yesterday. His face is all messed up. He's probably going to have a scar on his face for his whole life. But, hey, scars can have character. Ladies like a tough guy with a scar, so it's not all bad either. But, yeah, be safe out there, Dr. Savage. Go easy on that dirt bike, man. And same to everybody else. I've never been one for the adrenaline sports. I've never gone bungee jumping. I've never gone high diving. I know people live for that stuff, but to me, it's just like, it's not worth it to me, man. I got things to do in this world. My parachute could not be packed right. My bungee cord could be frayed. I don't know, man. I just think all that thrill-seeking stuff is... Be careful. I've ridden dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are a lot of fun, but, man, don't kill yourself on it. So... send your prayers to Dr. Savage. I think he already made it through the hard spot, but maybe his wounds can heal up better than he would imagine. So, want to talk about that real quick. And I was about to go back out to the calls, but you know what? We got 30 seconds until the break. When we come back from the break, here's the line right now. We'll be going to Houston, 832-205 Alabama, 412 in Pittsburgh, 605 in Rapid City, South Dakota. We got our Bob Marley friend at the 347. We'll be contacting him. And 503 Portland, 801 Utah. That is the line right now. There's nobody else on hold. So if you do call in right now, you will get in because I'll be able to get through all those callers and more. We got an hour of show left, a couple quick breaks. Actually, I take it back. We got an hour and a half of show left. So we'll get through all those calls and many more. All right, sit tight, Truth Seeker.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state. Manifest new and exciting experiences. Re-energize your life and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at naturesyouth.com. naturesyouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Ram, retired. In early 2012, I was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that my physician was telling me were incurable. I knew there had to be a better way, and I learned how I could reverse every one of my ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, I was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, AFib, and many more. And I've lost over 70 pounds and kept it off. Now I'm hosting a radio program that's dedicated to helping my listeners do the same. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick of being used as an ATM by your doctor, then you'll want to tune into the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio, every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
We are TFR.
My fated destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. We got an hour and a half of show left, and we are taking your calls the rest of the way. And the person who was next in line hung up. I don't know if they got cold feet, but let's go out to 757. 757, you're on.
No, you already came to me, Zach. I'm back.
Oh, shoot. I guess I got out of line. All right, thanks, man. All right, let's go out to Alabama. Alabama, you're on. 205.
Just let them win.
What?
They will dominate all of us. Just let them win.
Let who win?
The Jesuits.
Well,
the Jews.
They're already winning, man. They're already winning.
Yes, they're smarter than all of us. It's human. It's nature. It's nature at work.
Well, why are they smarter than all of us then?
Everybody is too stunted, too pacified. Nobody wants to do anything. So, yeah.
So we should just
That's how
quit?
they're dominating all of it.
We should just quit?
I'm not going to quit, but I mean, it's just there's nobody's doing anything. It's pretty.
Well, aren't we doing something over here?
I don't know. Yeah, but we need an uprising.
We do. We're not going to get an uprising if we quit. All right, here, let's play a game. Let's play a game. You got one chance. You get all the resources you need in the world. You get all the resources you need to do this. What's your one event to create the uprising? You got enough resources to do it.
I liked your idea of going into new studios, but I mean that's the first stage. Yeah, I don't want to go like. I don't want to get the FBI called on me.
Well, it's actually not that bad. I'll tell you what, from experience, it's actually not that bad when the FBI agent comes over. So, but they're not as. My guy came over. He had khaki shorts on, a Hawaiian shirt unbuttoned. I was like, is this guy really the FBI? But then he was. I was like, God, he really is the FBI. So. And all he had was false accusations. I was like, man, the government's even a bigger joke than I thought it was already. Oh my God, they came over here with false accusations and no evidence, and I'm able to just laugh at them right in their face. They can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes I think they make everything scarier than it actually is, you know. But I hear you, man. I mean, it's frustrating times, but yeah, we gotta go Roddy Piper. They live, so. Alabama's close to Atlanta. Hey, you're close to Atlanta, man. You're not that far from CNN. Somebody needs to scout out CNN from me. I want to know if CNN can be. I want to know if we could bust in there with a bum rush. Is there a way to get in that place, or is it fortified like a military base? So.
Oh, I don't think it's fortified or anything. I've driven past it a few times. I mean, it'd probably be pretty easy, to be honest with you.
That's what we need to do, man.
I don't want to.
That's what we need to
do that.
Okay, if I set the date for us all to meet at CNN Atlanta headquarters, would you be there? Be ready to bum rush the new studio?
Oh, I couldn't answer that question.
Okay.
Like
all right.
I'm just trying not to
well, we can't quit. We need to do things like that. But I appreciate you calling in tonight, man. Stay strong out there. I know it's discouraging, but if we quit, nothing's going to happen. So, until next time, my man.
All right. Thanks, guy.
Yeah, I mean, I hear his energy. I mean, that's what happened to our man Bryson, too. That's what happened to our man Bryson. So, it's kind of how I was in July. Man, I had something come into my head while he was talking, and I wanted to say it, but it already went back out of my head, and I can't remember what it was. All right, we'll just go out to the next caller. Maybe it'll come back. Pittsburgh, 605, you're on. Pittsburgh? Oh, oops, I said the wrong area code. 412, 412, 412, Pittsburgh.
Hey, Zach.
Hello.
So yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, so you were talking about 9/11 this weekend and then Tupac in the Monday night game. And you said Big E winning the title on Raw. So I was wondering, did you ever listen to the song Juicy by Big E?
Oh, man, who hasn't heard Juicy? Come on, man. Come on. I remember when the first time I heard it on cassette tape in my sister's Chevy Sprint. I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, I mean, that is a good song. That I was probably, I forget how I was probably like 10, 11 years old when that song came out. But yeah.
Well, in the song, he talks about...
Blow up like the World Trade?
Yeah, blow up like the World Trade.
That song was banned from the radio after 9/11. If you go back and look at all the songs that were banned on the radio after 9/11, that was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there in case no one knew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure a lot of people know that one. Yeah, go back and look at after 9/11, there were a number of songs that were banned on the radio. That was one of them. Another one that was banned was the Gap band, You Dropped a Bomb on Me. Oh, it's a joke, man. It's a joke, so.
All right, well, thanks for taking the call.
All right, yeah, you're welcome. Sardines for dinner. That's what we used to do at our house, man. That was my sister's favorite dinner. She'd be eating sardines, I'd be eating ramen noodles and Ritz crackers. Let's go out to San Diego. What's up, San Diego? 605.
No, this is Rapid City, Zach.
Did I say San Diego? South Dakota, I mean.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, this is Eloy.
What's up, man?
I just want to let you know, Zach, today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I actually turned 21 today.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, brother, for sure.
Good to be you, man. Good to be.
Were you able to watch that huh?
I wish I could snap my fingers and be you, man. I want to go back to 21. I mean, the times could be better in the world, but at least be glad you're 21 years old. What a glorious age to be. What were you asking me, though?
No. You know what's better than that, Zach, is being 21 and knowing your knowledge, the shit that you're teaching. I honestly, this is probably the best age I've been, and I mean, obviously, I haven't been through much ages, but 21 seems about right, knowing the shit that I know because of you. But I just had a couple questions, and I got just mainly questions tonight. But one of my questions is, were you able to watch that documentary I suggest to you?
Was that
which one?
That was the Catholic Church one, right?
Yeah.
So for the record, that guy did not make that video. I've already seen it before. He did not make that video, but he put his brand on there and donate to his Patreon. I was like, man, look at that. He took somebody else's video on his channel and said donate to my Patreon.
I didn't know that. So do you know anyone? Do you know the original creator of that video at all? Or?
It's been on YouTube for a while. Neo the Hacker just re-uploaded that video a few weeks back too. I mean, it's a great video. Everybody should watch it. Yeah.
Dude, that video right there actually exposes a lot. You know, it puts in the highlight of all the main stuff that you go over, and you know. But yeah, I mean it's a good video. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to say was what was it? All right. So have you seen that video? I guess it's a reporter from Britain or in England, but I guess it says there's a video on YouTube called NSW Chief House Officer Confirms New World Order. Have you seen that video at all?
What's the acronym for the person?
I don't.
You said MSW officer.
What were the video? Huh?
You said some kind of officer. What was the acronym? MSW or?
Yeah, it said NSW Chief Health Officer confirms New World Order. That video, I don't know if you've seen it a lot, but it's only like 11 seconds long. And that video, it kind of like, what the heck? And it's only, it got released like a few weeks ago, I think, like a week and a half ago, but it's very new. But that, she kind of puts in highlight, like because of these vaccines, they're going to, this New World Order is basically in effect.
Hold on.
Like,
Pause.
we already living out.
Pause for a second, because I got the video up here. I'm just going to play it. I haven't heard it, but it's only 10 seconds long. Let me play this clip real quick. Let's hear it.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the New World Order. And yes, it will be pubs and clubs and other things if we have a positive case there.
Oh, I hate these people, man. In the New World Order.
It's fucked up, but it's funny at the same time because like they throw it at you, and it's like if you're not smart enough to realize it, it's like, dude, why are you even here? It's fucked up.
No, truly, and it is a fair question to ask. And again, it's a reminder why I'm not a Christian, because I don't think God ever said, "Thou shalt not kill." I think God said there's a time to kill, and when you start looking at humanity and there are a bunch of brain-dead sheep dragging you all to hell, I think a lot of them just don't need to be here anymore. So.
It's fucked up, and it's honestly, I don't know what to say anymore, because you can sit here and preach to all these people. At the end of the day, it's like there's only so much we can say for them to realize what's going on. If they don't want to realize it themselves, then there's just, all we can do is just keep trying. But it's just a cycle, and that's what you were saying the other day in one of your posts. You were saying about you're a Lutheran and you're going against all these motherfuckers that basically historically already happened. It's a second rebellion, and in the Bible it says, God, the devil's getting his last crusade to rebel against God one last time, and that's why he's reuniting all these religions, all these faiths, all these ethnicities, and it's getting crazy,
It is.
It really is.
It is.
And I'm glad you're here, Zach, because you highlight a lot of the shit that's going on, and I don't want you to feel like you got to beat yourself up because motherfuckers don't want to listen. But at the end of the day, it's like all your purpose here is expose the plot. And you're not here to sit here and argue with people who think differently, because regardless, people are going to think differently regardless. And it's just, we're here to expose the plot. That's all it is. One last rebellion against the Catholic Church, because that's eventually what it is.
Indeed. Well, thanks for joining us on your birthday too, man. I really appreciate you calling on your birthday. Yeah, I hope you had a great day.
No problem, but
yeah, and make it a good birthday week too.
Being on this stream made it a lot better, honestly, because my day ended by being on Zach's podcast, kind of, and it's like helping expose what's going on, and I'm glad I was able to pinpoint that video out to you, because it kind of just highlighted everything that's going on. It's just extreme mockery.
Indeed.
But I hope you have a good night, and I'll let the next caller get on, buddy.
All right. Thanks for the call. Thanks for that observation.
You're a true sticker out here in Rapid City.
Appreciate it, man. Happy birthday. You have a good night. All righty. Let's go out to 347. How you doing tonight, friend?
Yeah, Zach, what's up, man?
Hey, thanks for calling in. How are you?
I'm taking it easy, man.
Very good.
I'm sitting in the parking lot here right now.
Why are you in the parking lot?
I run a parking lot. I have a parking lot here in Brooklyn.
Got it.
I didn't get a chance to run upstairs.
Got it.
I didn't get a chance to run upstairs to listen, so I just say, let me do it from down here for the first time,
Right. Let's see.
So is everything, man?
As well as it can be. I heard in your state they're really starting to crack down on the vaccine passport enforcement. Is that true or not?
Yeah, but they ain't putting it on the news, man. And the nurses and who work for the healthcare, the judge just blocked that mandate, but they got to get vaccine. So, to take it like that, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people is quitting. Say they ain't taking that vaccine, man.
Right.
Because that is debt.
That's what everyone
That
needs
is
to do.
debt. Straight up debt.
Yeah, everyone needs
Yeah,
to.
but, you know, you try to teach them people about this, you know, nanoparticles they put inside of that crap, man. Nobody want to understand that shit. Hey, nothing like that. It's safe. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to know. That's the thing. People just want to be ignorant, man.
Yeah.
People are willfully ignorant.
Like I was talking to a friend of mine a while ago. Well, the government gonna go kill people. I said, come on, man. What's wrong with you? They poison you with Monsanto. They poison you with the water you drink. Come on.
Government's been killing people all over the world. Governments can legally murder people. They just declare war. So.
Yeah. Man, I don't speak to them elders no more, man. I speak to young kids. Because young kids get it. You know what I'm saying? When you,
I do get
for
that.
the reason with the young kids there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good for you. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just hanging in, you know what I'm saying?
We're all just hanging in there,
We gotta
man.
meet up with, I'm gonna make an arrangement to meet up with Rambo next time, man. You know, through the weather, that's why I didn't meet up with him.
Rambo, you got friends in New York that want to meet you?
Yeah, no, I spoke with him.
Okay, very cool.
I spoke to him. We were supposed to meet, but that weekend was the bad weekend with a lot of rain, you know, so
I see.
that was to cancel.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. You stay dry?
We got a sister in Brooklyn, so, you know.
When they had the flood rains there, were you impacted by it, or did you stay dry?
No, I stay dry. I never have no problem, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Not on my side. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, friend. Well, I appreciate you always supporting.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, always.
You have a good night. You take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, from New York to the other coast, Portland, Oregon, my home city. What's going on, 503?
Hey, shout out to you, man. You sound like you're in a lot better spirits with what's going on right now. I know you're kind of down and everything about what was going on. You was looking kind of bleak, but at the same time, you got a nice little pick me up, and I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I honestly think I'm trying to do better of just presenting a better image. I think the way I was showing myself in July is still really the way I feel inside. I mean, how can you feel good right now as a truth seeker about what's going on in the world, man? Humanity's dropping the ball in the biggest way in the time of the most horrible agenda there ever was. But, yeah, I realize I got to keep the message a little more positive, because if we're not going to reach people, we're not going to do anything. And if I'm in, just this negative frame, that's not going to connect with as many people, so.
I agree with that. I mean, at the same time, the message that we're going ahead and we're trying to quantify to everybody isn't reaching everybody the way that we wanted to. So at the same time, we get frustrated about that. But we can't allow our frustrations to go ahead and overtake the message that we're still trying to deliver to everybody.
Right. Exactly.
But at the same time, man, hey, I got to talk to you, man, outside of this whole situation. But at the same time, when you were talking about the whole situation with 2024, I know that I work in the real estate field, so there is about to be a huge real estate spike in regards to what's going on in 2024. The guy, I can't remember his name. His name is like Joe something or another. You know what I mean? He's going ahead and he's going to go ahead and increase the interest rates. I think it's 3 times what they are right now in 2024. So that might be something to go ahead and look at as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's a ways off. I mean, that's the speculation now, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, if they raise the interest rate 3 times, housing values would definitely come down. That's for sure. So.
Right, and I mean, I think that's the plan. Remember when I know that you went ahead and you discussed BlackRock Incorporated, and they are the ones that's going ahead and they're kind of dictating the market right now. So, I mean, if we're looking at 3 times the amount for interest rates right now, that puts BlackRock in a situation where they're going ahead and they're dictating the market. And then you see all that moratorium coming off from everybody else that's going on right now as far as the non-payback of old rents and stuff like that. So a lot of people are going to be losing homes, and I think BlackRock is going to go ahead and grab up a whole bunch of other
Clean
properties.
up even more,
but
right?
Again, like I was saying, is 20.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. But I do got some. You were talking about you were trying to figure out a way to go ahead and expand the Truth Matters movement. I do understand that, and like I said, if we speak outside of this, I guarantee I can go ahead and speed up that process versus going ahead and putting us in a situation to where we're still fighting each and every day and trying to claw to get out of the situation that we're in. So, I mean, if you want to go ahead and screenshot my number, go ahead and do that. And like I said, give me a call some other time, and I can go ahead and go over some stuff with you in particulars in regards to going ahead and evolving what's going on.
Okay. Okay, I just screenshotted the number, so I got 2 calls to make tomorrow.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm available pretty much all day tomorrow. That works fine.
Okay. Is there a day that's better than Thursday to call?
No, tomorrow's good, boss. You can call me tomorrow. I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow. I'm going ahead and I'm talking to a couple of different people about a couple of different other things, but at the same time, I do know to go ahead and anticipate a call from you, and I will go ahead and carve out that spot for you. Not a problem.
Okay. Now that I'm looking at your number, I'm like, I think I can remember your number. Your number's got some amazing digits in it. But, yeah.
Yeah, we've spoken a couple of different times. I was down in Alabama the last time I went ahead and talked to you. You know what I mean? Now I'm back in Portland right now, but I will be back down there. So, like I said, yeah, we've had a couple of different correspondence before.
Okay. All right, I'll give you a call. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All
right, have a good night.
Not a problem.
See you.
You too.
Okay, from Portland to Toronto. Toronto, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Zach. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing all right, thank you.
So sorry. So, quick question. Just in terms of like, you know, that whole dude that called in earlier with the whole vaccine, to get the vaccine in order to keep your job, like, I don't know, like, I feel like if all of us kind of like leave our jobs and whatnot, like, it's just going to be a whole other wave of people who are like, you know, the sheep vaccinated just coming in to fill up the positions of the people who are leaving.
Well,
so,
that's what'll happen. That is what'll happen in this world because there are so many sheep. But I mean, still, you know, if more people stood on principle and did that, then their agenda wouldn't work. But that's why I've always said, like, we're all gonna. That's why I'm here doing this, because I recognize that humanity's so asleep. Humanity will drag us all to hell with the tyrants in charge because they just continue to follow the directions of the tyrants. I've just seen this my whole life, and I mean that's why I've been doing what I was doing 8 years before this happened. And yeah, it's frustrating, but still, as a person who's awake and understands, you still got to stand on principle and do the right thing, even if some other sheep's gonna come in there and take your spot. I mean. But yeah, I hear you.
Well, that whole thing that, like, I feel like if you don't want to be vaccinated or whatever, then you're kind of stuck on making your small business, and hopefully your small business thrives, you know, or whatever you're good at. But I feel like there's like it's coming to the point where like there's kind of no way out of that unless it's like a mom and pop shop, which are very few now or whatever, you know. But it's I don't know, it's just getting tougher just to kind of like angle yourself the right way and what you want to do.
And it is,
So,
I just got a call from somebody in this community yesterday who's saying, man, I am so screwed. I got a family and I cannot do my work unless I get the vaccine, but there's no way I'm going to get the vaccine. There's just so many people that are in the same spot. I mean, this is what tyranny looks like. So this is tyranny.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks a lot for taking my call. You're awesome.
All right, man. Thank you. You have a good night. Appreciate you. Yeah, I feel bad for everyone who's being put in that situation. That get the vaccine or you're out of here. But again, you guys, this is why I was saying years ago. Like I was saying this to you guys years ago, that you got to take some risks. You can't just stay on the grind and say I don't. You know, again, time's gone. We're screwed now, right? But that's why years ago I was saying we need more people to just like take a risk and dedicate their life to exposing the agendas and where humanity's being taken. And I mean, the reality is not enough people in the world did that. And there just wasn't enough people advocating for the truth and fighting against tyranny. And that's why we are where we are now. See what I mean? See what I mean? That's how it works. Not enough people did the right thing. I want to say when we needed to, but I mean, it still needs to happen right now. It's just, there's a grave being dug for us, and we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. The longer we wait to do something, the worse it gets. That's how it is. Houston, Texas, 832.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Well, I was expecting some big news. It's Yom Kippur. It'll probably be tomorrow with the big 66 date tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the second day of Yom Kippur, so yeah, I didn't see anything real big today. But we'll see. Usually Yom Kippur doesn't pass without some kind of surprise, so it might come on the Thursday, second day of Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of that song by Prince where he says Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb?
Well, it wasn't a song and lyrics. It was the last concert he did before he returned to the U.S. And he was talking about, yeah, I forget what song that went into, but he was talking about how he doesn't want to go back to the U.S. because, well, how did he? I forget exactly how he phrased it. Like Obama's getting ready to bomb you or something. I got to go back and find that clip, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's all I had.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Peace.
Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, again, it is Yom Kippur today. Again, Yom Kippur about atonement for your sins. And always right around Yom Kippur, there's some big news stories. The other year, the Vegas mass shooting, it happened right after Yom Kippur ended. We'll be right back, everybody. Quick break.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
It's the Onion Radio News. Loft Apartments will be converted into a mayonnaise factory. This is Doyle Redland reporting. A building in Seattle, Washington, which currently houses 10 adjoining lofts, has been purchased by a company planning to convert spacious studio apartments into a mayonnaise factory. Peter Slater is the CEO of the building's new owner, Best Foods Incorporated.
I took one look at those great wood plank floors and two-story ceilings, and I knew that all it would take was a little elbow grease to turn the building into an awesome industrial workplace.
Current residents were told to vacate the building by the 1st of next month, but were offered first crack at the nearly 80 newly created $9 an hour jobs. QT2D-7, an 11-year-old electric assembly operations robot in Canton, Ohio, was laid off today when the Lawn Boy plant employing it relocated its manufacturing headquarters to New Delhi, India. As it panned its infrared eye across the factory's empty parking lot, the out-of-work welding unit had this to communicate.
Observation. I've never known anything but assembling lawnmowers. Query. Just like that, they throw me out.
Infuriating robot labor groups, the eastern migration of U.S. robotic manufacturing jobs appears unstoppable, as Indian robots are much cheaper to employ, service, and replace than their American counterparts. Investors and analysts on Wall Street fled in terror after being spooked by the rare but deadly boar market that reared its head at yesterday's closing bell. Analyst Christopher Matson spoke from an emergency shelter on 10th Avenue.
This market is highly unpredictable.
tussle, savage, and covered with coarse, bristly hair. I didn't know if I should buy, sell, or shoot.
Matson says he hopes stocks will someday soon perform again, as they did 2 weeks ago, when brokers were soothed by the graceful movements of a swan market. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Wherever you are, make it TTT. Truth Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question authority. This code has been compromised.
All right, we're back, True Seeker. We got an hour left. We're taking your calls the rest of the way. Again, if you do call in, it is that number on the screen, 213-233-3998, and try to keep your call to 1 to 2 minutes. One great question, one great thought. Truth Does Not Exist, who does good work on his YouTube channel. He asked if I could share what's in his letter on the air. He suggested, with the winter coming, in case they got more crazy blackouts planned like they did to Houston and Portland and some other spots last year on Valentine's Day, he's saying you might want to look into mylar foil. If I'm pronouncing that right, is it mylar foil? He said you can use it to line clothes. It's like that, when you get that emergency blanket that you can put over you that's very metallic. He said you can line a sweatshirt with that, and if it was very cold and you didn't have power, that would be something you could wear because it's designed to really push heat right back, and you would stay warm even in very cold weather. So that's his thought on something easy that people could do. I'm imagining it might be a little bit difficult to glue that to the interior of your clothes, but he says it can be done, and I'm sure it can be done. So maybe truth does not exist. Maybe what you should do, man, is make a video with how to make that sweatshirt. That'd be a cool video. So I imagine you've already designed one. Just do a little tutorial video. But yeah, that's a creative thought. He's a young, intelligent guy. So, and if you don't want to glue it to the inside of a sweatshirt, maybe just having something like that around would be helpful. It's not expensive, and those could be very nice things to have if they pull the plug on your city next. Let's go out to Utah. 801. What's up, 801?
What's going on, Zach?
How you doing?
Not bad, man. Just the IRS employee. You remember me from a couple weeks ago, I think?
Right, I remember.
Yeah, we're out here facing the don't get the shot by 1122, November 22nd. Is the cutoff for that. So, I'm out here looking for jobs, trying to figure out another route. It sucks we have to play this stupid game where we have to get out,
Right.
Right. But, yeah, just wanted to call in real quick. Did anybody call in or tell you about the little Gematria they snuck in the Candyman movie?
I heard that they remade the Candyman movie, but no, tell me what Gematria they put in there.
So I'm relatively new, but here's what I caught. It was towards the end of the movie, and the main character is black dude. getting chased down and killed by cops, right? And they turn away from him as the cops are closing into him. And guess what number's on the wall?
33?
42.
Oh,
Of
42.
course.
42, yeah, okay, that makes sense as well.
And the Candyman is also, I think it's in reverse. I can't remember. One of them is 42, Gematria on it too. Just kind of funny. Sneaks it in there, plain sight. Number is like, why else would they just go right to that number? But of course, if no one knows his knowledge, they don't even know what that means at all. It's just kind of funny.
In the original Candyman movie, he was a slave. But Candyman equals 30 forwards, 42 in reverse, just like slavery's that way, 30 and 42. The N-word's also that way, 30 and 42. So, yeah, I doubt that's an accident. Great observation. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And, yeah, the Candyman, I haven't seen it, but I know it was remade by the guy from Key and Peele who did Us and... Oh, what's the other movie he did where she hypnotizes him? Can't remember what it's called, but he's sticking numbers in all of his movies. Us, he keeps showing 11-11. Let's go out to Trenton, New Jersey, 609. You're on.
Yo, what's up, bud?
How you doing?
Was watching the 9/11 documentary.
Uh-huh.
So these firefighters, they were literally in the fire station, like up to 9/11. There was a guy training, and there was a funeral they attended, like August of 2001.
Hold on real quick. Hold on.
on.
Is this the documentary with the French narrator where he was at the fire department that day when supposedly the plane flew overhead? This one?
You saw the numbers. Yeah, you saw the numbers in the guy's funeral, like beginning of the movie. Just the numbers alone.
What is it at the funeral? I don't remember this part. Tell me.
It was. I read the article, right? Read the article about the guy who died. 27 years old. He was like being trained to be a firefighter. I got it right here. So the dude's now, like, his name in Gematria, 65.
Okay.
And 128. Like, what number? What's his 128 exactly? In English ordinal. And
they both break down to 11 in numerology. What was the observation you were making?
Oh, just the numbers. It was like on the fire truck, engine 163, and there was like 33 units.
Okay, so
ton of grade.
So okay, presentation. Okay, 65, 128, 163, 30. What's the point we're making with the numbers?
Oh, just like in the article, like before everything happened, it had a lot of good, just strong numbers, like 136, engine 136.
Okay.
Is that what I said?
I haven't heard you. So like if you're explaining Gematria this way, I don't know if it's persuasive to anyone because I don't know what point you're making about any of these numbers. So you're saying numbers with no point behind the point of the number. So tell me what I mean. Good strong numbers. What's that mean?
It was the sixth firefighter to die before 9/11 happened.
Okay.
And that was like a tribute just by it. Does that make kind of sense?
Well, you didn't connect what any of the numbers, the relevance you saw in any of them. You just listed numbers and said good, strong numbers. And then when I asked for clarification, you gave me another number and said he was the sixth firefighter to die. So again, I'm just trying to get you to explain what the point you're trying to make better.
A heart attack. So it could be fake entirely.
All right. Well, it couldn't be entirely fake. Well, here, I appreciate the call, man. You have a great rest of your night. Again, you guys, when you're explaining Gematria, you got to be clear. If you're going to say a number, you got to say what the number means, why it matters. I mean, imagine if you never heard anything about Gematria before, and somebody came up and just said that to you. What would your response be? I don't know what you're talking about. What do these numbers mean? You know? Like, here, Rockefeller. The name Rockefeller in Gematria equals 110. So does Osama bin Laden, 110. Where do they come together with the World Trade Centers? The Rockefeller family proposed the World Trade Center project. Osama bin Laden supposedly is the reason they came down, right? Like, that explains the number. That make somebody go, huh, that's interesting. If I just said, Osama bin Laden equals 47,110, and then didn't say anything else, just expecting the person to know that, building 1 and 2 are 110 stories and building 7's 47 stories. I mean, again, so New Jersey, next time you call back in, just stick to a number and tell us why that number matters. Guys, you got to be on point when you explain or are making a point. You know what I mean? Let's go out to Fort Lauderdale, 954. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're on. Hello.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so I know that you've been doing this for a long time, and I really appreciate that you do it. I'm just going to speak straight with you. I'm just an average person. I'm not on the fringes. So when I hear, like, the pause music that you're playing and stuff, it sounds kind of crazy. And, like, the whole message, let's be honest.
Hold on. What sounds kind of crazy?
I mean, just the whole concept. Like, the world is run by elites who are Satanists, who are, like, putting their messaging into our media. And,
is that, hold on.
Just everything, the entire concept itself.
Is that what I said? You just, how often do I talk about Satanists?
Well, you got me on that one.
Well, that was your lead. That was almost your lead point, and I don't even talk about that. So, are you just calling in with just some vague generalization that's not even accurate about what I say?
No, and I don't know why you're getting so hostile. I didn't even get to finish my point.
Well, because your point, if you're going to make a point, you got to come with a strong argument, not just say false things and accuse something of being crazy that's very logical and proven. I would say anybody who denies my work is crazy. That's what I would say. Anybody who denies my work is crazy.
Dude, you're not even letting me talk. Dude, I didn't even get to finish my point.
Okay, finish your point. Finish your point. Finish your point.
My point is, I'm saying I'm assuming you're selling merch, you're getting money, you clearly by the background on your video you live in.
I'm just muting this person. This person's an idiot. For the first 5 years, I worked every single day, 7 days a week, pumping out nothing but truth, correct predictions, helping a ton of people make a ton of money off rig sports and more. Didn't sell any merch, didn't have any subscription, didn't make a single penny. Had to put up with all sorts of threats, house getting burglarized, business sabotage, car crash through the house. And even after all that, it was still over a year after all that happened before I even raised the first dollar for this work. So again, just some assuming idiot paid-for troll plant is what I would say that person just was. And again, anybody who denies this work is not only crazy, they're a fucking retard. Period. End of discussion. Okay? There's nothing crazy about it. Every day on TV, who's the talking heads talking to you? They're all Jesuit educated. Every last face of this agenda is a Jesuit. Again, the Catholic Church is behind the language in the calendar. It's obvious every day they roll out their rituals by the very specific code we've laid out long ago and which has just backed itself up day after day after day. Again, what symbol's over 10 Downing Street's door? The Jesuit order. Prime Minister, his mom just died at age 79 after getting divorced in 79, which they have to let you know about. What's that equal? Society of Jesus, 79. And again, the pandemic was declared on Anthony Fauci, the Jesuit's 79th day of being 79 years old. You think these things are a coincidence? You got to be a fucking retard. Again, that's a short list of examples. There's a million more proofs behind it. And don't send these... Why are the trolls that always call in sound like they haven't even gone through puberty yet? I mean, what do they find? 12-year-olds? Don't call back in again, loser. Pathetic fucking person right there. Let's go out to 870. 870, you're on. It's your turn.
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you. What's up?
Oh, man. This is Mike from Arkansas, man. I ain't called in a while, man. I just want to say, first off, thanks for what you do, man. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
But the reason I ain't called in, man, my girlfriend at the time, I think I talked to you back when we was having a lot of power outages and weather warfare. Well, she died for their agenda, man. Like, about back in November, you know, she had some health issues, but it's cold. 3 days into it, guess what? They put her on an event. They did it wrong. She's out, man. Killed her, so she's gone. So now I'm like the only one working for my 3 kids, and I'm kind of stressed out. What am I doing? Like, I work for big tech, I work for Verizon, and they're probably going to force a vaccine, you know? So I'm kind of stressed out. What's your thoughts on, like, this mandatory vaccine? Do you think that's any legitimate to that, or what should we do?
Well, I mean, I've been talking about that topic all year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what do you think we should, you think if most people shouldn't take it, what do you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's deadly. What do you think?
There's nothing good about it. I mean, it's rushed out. It's from the company that's been sued the most for wrongful death and injury. It's based on a line and agenda. I mean, there's just a million reasons to not get it. So,
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not getting it. I posted on Facebook, it'd be a cold day in hell before I get it. And I posted a meme about Pfizer being the most sued company. Guess what? Facebook blocked me. You know? It's like, come on.
It just shows you that's what fascism looks like, and that's the And we know the Jesuits are behind Facebook, Google, all these big tech companies, the entire agenda. I mean, this is the Jesuit cabal right here in our face. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad world we're living in right now. I feel like we're in some bad stuff, you know. But I mean, that's just being little people, you know. Like, there's not much we can do unless we unite, you know, and I don't think there's enough people who wait to do that, you know. Is there anything we can do to try to promote people? What can we do to get them more part to help this movement going? What can we do?
More people out pounding pavement on their corners, getting the word out, you know, just everywhere you can. More people just dedicating more time to getting the truth out. That's what we got to do. There's not enough people doing it, so. Appreciate the call, man. You have a good night.
Well, I mean,
you take care. Yeah, I mean, he's calling in and asking me everything that I've already talked about tonight and every other day. I mean, come on, man. Don't call in to ask questions. Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. It's just like wasting time, honestly. I don't want to be mean, but like literally that hasn't been what we've been talking about every damn week for how long? I mean, come on, man. And by the way, for 7 Urban Magazine in the chat, who I did an interview with a long time ago, who's now in here harping and saying, you know, all I'm here to do is just, you know, hurt everybody who believes in Jesus. Here's my question back to you, 7 Urban Magazine. Don't block her. Let her get in here and say whatever she wants. She did an interview and tried to help get out the word over a year ago. But here's my answer. You know, what's Jesus done to stop the tyranny? Has Jesus been out here every day putting out the truth about what's really going on and help people wake up? Where's Jesus at? How come Jesus lets all this stuff go on, you know? How come Jesus let Dr. Savage nearly die on his dirt bike, you know? You know what I mean? So, just, the fact that you're in here complaining about that I'm not in the same religion as you just proves my point. You guys are so caught up in your beliefs that do nothing for you. They do nothing for you. I just read your comment. Jesus is the only thing that can save us from this. Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that Jesus is the only thing that can save us. Where's Jesus at? The only thing that can save us hasn't been here a single second in the entire pandemic, hasn't done a damn thing, hasn't lifted the finger one time. The only thing that can save us? The reason we're fucked is because so many people think just like you, and they think all they can do is sit there and go like this and end their words with amen. They don't even know what the fuck that means. Amen. That's the reason we're fucked. Because people believe in bullshit, and they think bullshit's going to come save them from more bullshit. Let me remind you who's behind this entire agenda. The Society of Jesus is who's behind the pandemic. That's why everything is Christian related. That's why they simulated it 666 days. And they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because they know they've made people hate everything that matters. They've made people hate spirituality with religion. They've made people hate learning because of school. You see, they give us these things that are like things that are really important are spirituality and curiosity and learning and intelligence. And these things get ruined with their systems, religion and school. Don't forget that school equals Jesuit order. But I'm just so sick of reading shit like that. Jesus is the only thing that can save us. What's he waiting for? Is he waiting until the vaccination rate's at almost 100 and then he's going to show up? I waited for the final 10 people who hadn't gotten the vaccine yet. You know? I haven't seen you for a year and a half. You come in here and all that we can do is wait for Jesus. You should go watch my videos from 8 years ago about why we're fucked, because either people are religious retards or they're government retards. They get retarded for one of them. They'll just believe in whatever bullshit comes out of one or the other because they've made that their god, you know? I don't have any false gods. I don't have false religion gods. I don't have false authority gods. I don't have any of those things. Been seeing through all that shit since I was a child. So I invite you to do the same thing. Okay. Let's go out to 973 New Jersey. What's up, 973?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. I just wanted to say one thing which I'm getting extremely sick of is the Warner Brothers. Okay?
The Warner Brothers movies.
I'm so sick of it. It's like they're always trying to warn me about something. Like I can't watch any of these movies because every single time I go on that, it's like everything that they say happens in the movie happens in real life, and then every single time I go to I'll be driving with my dad or something like that. He tells me all these. He's like, oh, you gotta watch out for this and watch out for that. I'm like, you should go work for the Warner Brothers because it's like this is just what they do. Warn you about stuff. There's like all these kids. I'm starting to think they probably warned people about 9/11 or something. Like,
well, they warned us. Remember the whole Christmas bombing in Nashville was a big Warner Brothers production. We went heavy on that at the time, but you're right. It's all in the name too. The Warner Brothers. So.
Well, why is nobody doing anything about it?
Well, I mean, I can't say nobody. I've been here explaining it. You're here calling tonight. Why aren't more people? Probably because they're waiting for Jesus to come save them. So.
Yeah, the Jesus guy.
Yeah. Seven, who I was just talking to, she just responded. She said, it's too bad I feel that way. No, it's too bad that you believe the bullshit you do, and you think the only thing that's going to save us is Jesus. That's exactly why we're all going to get wasted, because too many people think just like you. Believe just like you in nonsense. Anything else, caller? Anything else you want to say? I guess caller checked out. All right, let's go out to Texas. What's up, 469?
Zach Hubbard, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
What's up? This Jay. I was called in during the Tupac show, telling you about the Gematria movie we gonna make.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get back to that. But we talk about 9/11. So during September 11th, this year, you know, they're showing all the documentaries and everything on TV. So I got my captions on, got my ears open, just typing shit in the Gematria, trying to see what comes up. Because, like, when you go back and watch it now, you can see everything like, damn, okay, the fucking tower fell 56 minutes after the first plane hit. There go another 56. And when I typed in New York, like, this is all letters, no numbers, New York fire 9/11. Because, you know, when the first plane hit, everybody just thought it was a fire. Everybody didn't know a plane hit the building. If you go back and watch the news clips or whatever, so I typed that in. If you could bring that up on the screen, that'd be great so people can see.
Well, what do you want me to put up on the screen?
On the Gematrinator in all letters, New York fire 9/11, all letters.
Okay. It's got the 79 like Osama bin Laden. Society of Jesus. Caller? Huh. Well, I can't hear the caller anymore. 469, you still there? 469, if you call back in, I'll get you back on. I don't know. Can't hear your call all of a sudden. Let's go out to 618. 618, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey, I think this is Nate. What's up, man?
Hey, I was just calling to remind about Jason Aldean's bodyguard. He died 21 days ago before Yom Kippur. 10 = 21.
Again, Jason Aldean, too, was on the stage when the Vegas shooting happened. Jason Aldean's another 201.
And on the Illuminati card game, I'm pretty sure they got a 2 and a 1 on that card, on the judgment card or whatever. Or whatever the Vegas card is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a 21 for blackjack. Blackjack 21.
Okay.
I'm at work right now, though, so I know it's loud. I'm going to get off here.
That news of Jason Aldean's bodyguard, the earliest articles I see are August 25th. That broke on August 25th, 258. Number of the beast, 258. I'm going to look more into that.
It should have been 21 days because Kayla did a decode on it. She did a good decode on that.
Yeah, tomorrow will be 21 days. And because, again, Jason Aldean, the Vegas shooting was Yom Kippur, so tomorrow's the second day of Yom Kippur, 21 days after that news broke.
20 days. Yeah, it's 20.
Well, today's 20 days after. Tomorrow's 21 days. 2 days of Yom Kippur.
Okay, so Judge 20, sin 21, span of 21 days.
Yes. Yeah, judgment. Guys, quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again, so I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea! We love this tea! Time after time, week after week, we love this tea! Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR Frequency Radio.
Wait 1 second, I'll put you on. Okay, we're back from commercial. We got Jonathan calling in. He wanted to join us on the Tupac anniversary, but I think he had better things going on. Before I put Jonathan on, again, for the people in the chat who are saying things like, Zach, you're spending too much time studying Gematria, and you need to study the Bible more so you can know what you'll be missing out on in the afterlife. I mean, as I read that, you guys, that has zero persuasive ability with me. It just makes me think, God, do you guys not see that you're proof of exactly what I'm talking about? You're talking about reading a man-made book given to you to control your ass with some bullshit, just like coronavirus is given to you by man to control you with some bullshit, not to mention it comes from the same group of people, the Society of Jesus. And you guys are talking about how we don't need to do anything right now but believe in Jesus for the afterlife. You don't see why you're the perfect slaves with the perfect mindset to be ruled over? You guys are a joke. You're too dumb to even see what you are. You are a joke. I've been talking about you for 8 straight years. The reason we're so fucked is to the people like you. People who are more worried about what's going to happen in the afterlife because they read in this book than doing something about the here and now in the world that matters. And I want you to go out and take a look at all the children being made afraid every day and with masks over their face and, you know, playing outside, if they're even allowed to play outside 10 feet apart with masks over their face, and ask, where the fuck is Jesus? And what the fuck are you talking about this afterworld that you can't prove while you're watching this world get fucked up? You guys are exactly why we're so fucked, and I got to make that crystal clear. Now, with that said, let me go out to Jonathan, man, because I've been wanting to hear from him too. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I mean, you make a really good point, because it's just like I was talking about before. Like, if you go by the story, right? Haiti was the first black country to be free, right? Led by Toussaint Louverture, and they became, if you believe the story, right? They became free by taking.
Hold on, Jonathan. Jonathan, your phone's cutting out. Your phone's cutting out. Can you fix your signal?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Hold on.
Hold on. Give me 15 seconds.
Country,
Give me 15 seconds. Try to go to your best spot, and I'm going to come right back. Hold on. Listen, Christian people are so fucking annoying to me. This person in the chat writes, Zach just needs a God experience to believe. What do you think has kept me going and doing this every day for 8 straight years? You know? You guys are so arrogant with your bullshit. Well, what the fuck are you doing with your Jesus beliefs? You're not doing shit. Show me anyone in this world that's done something more important in the last 8 years every single day. You know? Again, what I have done, it hasn't reached the pinnacle it should, but it should have, man, based on how well we've proven the message. Well, what do you think has driven me? You guys are so fucking dumb. That's what connects all religious people. Idiocy, low IQs, arrogance, ego, pathetic minds, lesser minds. You're a lesser mind. That's why you believe in that bullshit ass story that was given to you as a little kid. You wouldn't know any name Jesus if that wasn't taught to you as a little kid. That's your belief instilled in your mind. The same reason Oreo cookies markets to a 4-year-old is the same reason a minister who wants the money on his plate markets to a 4-year-old too. These are all part of the same systems. Your life is ruled by fear and bullshit and your fake belief in God. I'm going to call it, that's what it is. It's your fake belief. It comes from a book full of bullshit that was put on you because of fear, and you think that your beliefs are superior than everybody else's and only your belief in God matters. You're exactly what's wrong with the world. You know what? I said nobody else can block you, but I'm going to do it. Thanks for trying to help out a year and a half ago. You didn't really have any following, so it didn't really help out at all. It was mostly a waste of my time, to be perfectly honest, and I don't want to read any more of your ignorant comments. Have a nice life. All right, what's up, Jonathan?
Hey, can you hear me better?
There we go. Let's go.
All right, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Just by the way, just real quick, I'm gonna need my own show because I got a lot to say, and I do respect the other callers, all right? But I want to make a quick point. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in Monticello. And Monticello is about 30 miles east of Tallahassee. And this is where George Clinton has been living at, and he has a studio here. He's been living here like the past 30 years. And you were talking about George Clinton the other day, but I just wanted to make that point that I'm actually in Monticello where George Clinton lives. I got a lot more to say, but we'll do our own show. But what I wanted to say is that, so back in the day, right, Haiti became the first free black nation because we took the motherfuckers to war, right? We took them to war. We took the French army to war. Now, all these years later, one of the biggest rappers out there is Matt Kami. And he has his critically acclaimed album called Pray for Haiti, right? So now, all these years later, Haitians are known as rebels, right? So my dad is Haitian, right? We're known as rebels, right? So now, all these years later, now we're supposed to pray? But how do we get our freedom back in the day? By taking them to war.
Exactly.
So what's up with all this praying? What's up with all this praying?
And look at where the world's at in the time of Jesus and all the praying, right where the society of Jesus wants them.
Exactly. So he has this critically acclaimed album talking about pray for Haiti, but back in the day we took him to war, and that's how we got free. So and I want to say I want to make a point on all the critics. It's like what have you done? Like, you haven't done shit. Like, you haven't. Where do you get this shit from? Like, where do you get your opinions from? Like, what have you done? Like, you've come out. You've made 2 books. You have thousands of videos, right? Thousands of videos. We're actually trying to
online posts, man. All the posts takes forever, man. Making all those posts. I mean, again, it's not an exaggeration when I say I've been averaging 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8 straight years. Those are facts, man. That's a lot of time, and it's been done with the urgency and the commitment because I knew we were in bad times. I didn't want to watch the world go down in flames, and it's going down in flames. It just makes me go, God, man, I wish I just took the last 8 years off and fucking enjoyed life while we still had time. You know? I can think of all the things. I guarantee you my business wouldn't have been sabotaged. I'd have way more money. I'd be way wealthier. I'd have a nice, cozy business that I would have created on my own. My life would be a lot better had I never done this. But would the world be better off? I don't think so. So I made a sacrifice for the world. It hasn't been enough, but had more people taken the work seriously, helped out, maybe we wouldn't be here. I tried to do my part so we wouldn't end up exactly where we are today.
Yeah, you have, and that's the reason why people ask why I don't make so many videos. It's because what's the point of making all these videos? We're talking about the same shit, and it's gonna go over your head anyway. And it's second grade math, so that's the reason why I don't put out all these videos because we've been talking about the same shit forever. Like, what's the point of coming out with all these videos? I appreciate that you come out with these videos. I appreciate the books. I'm writing my own Gematria book, but we're actually trying to do something about this. You know what I'm saying? We're actually trying to spread the word. You've written books, posts. So it's like, okay. So it's like, why are you criticizing, with no facts? You just call and say, oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. I'm just so tired of explaining this simple second grade math to people.
Well, you know, the one person who called in tonight with their bullshit was like, you know what you're doing, kind of like crazy and acting like elites are controlling things, and I bet you just do this for money. It's just like, okay, everything they're just saying is just bullshit. I mean, that's all you can, if you're going to go up against this work, all you're going to come with is bullshit. There's no way you're going to disprove a word of what we've been showing. I mean, did you guys not just watch what I did for Monday Night Football, just sitting there documenting all game 34, 34, 34? I should have made the last video. I'm just hoping people will see. The last play ended with a wide open receiver, no defense, on the 34th completion of the game. The whole game was nothing but a 34 ritual left and right on 13/9, 139, the 34th prime in Nevada 34 against the Ravens 34, who scored 34 points in both their Super Bowls. On the day that Tupac died, the rapper, when Rapper's 34. And again, remember, he grew up in Baltimore, moved to Oakland, died in Vegas, and then Biggie wins the WWE wins the championship that night. Did you know that, Jonathan, that the wrestler Biggie won on the anniversary of Tupac's death?
Yeah, I caught that based off your stuff. I caught that.
It's just, I mean, again, you guys, these are the dots that show like, wow, so the NFL really is scripted, which everyone should know. But it's not just that, because this is the kind of shit that will wake up people, that the NFL scripted, that Tupac's death is actually the ritual of the Jesuit order on behalf of the Catholic Church. These are facts. These are provable things, and we're showing how the rituals go on in real time, and who's still running the whole show. If people took the time to grasp the work and see it, then they might be more inspired to do something about it instead of sit there on their ass, you know, just watching the games and partaking in these rituals. I mean, people that hate on us are fucking, like, if you come hate on me in the name of Jesus, fuck you. Jesus hasn't done a single fucking thing except for occupy some part of your brain that it's been there since you were probably 2 years old. He hasn't done a fucking thing in the last 8 years, not a fucking thing. I've been here every goddamn day working my ass off to try and wake up the world because I saw what was coming. And I said a long time ago, 2020 would be a bad fucking year because it was 19 years after 9/11, and I explained why. And then it ended up being COVID-19, and people are still denying? Where the fuck is Jesus? How come Jesus isn't showing that Revelation 14:9 equals 666 and Revelations 1:49 and how it all goes back to the Catholic Church and the secret societies that are running shit today, like Skull and Bones, like the Johns Hopkins, who's another big part of this pandemic? Where's Jesus to explain anything? In your fucking mind, that's just, you know, like you and everybody else whose heads are full of bullshit that's been there since you were a little kid, there's no difference. There's no difference. Your head's just full of some bullshit that you believe in. I don't think there's any bullshit in my head, really. I'm not into bullshit. I see bullshit, I say, nah, that's bullshit. That's not for me. I'm not into God has a middleman. What the fuck is that? Why would God have a middleman? That's a story for sorry-ass suckers. That's a story to steal money from babies. Okay.
Jesus is full of shit. Because where's he at right now and in the worst fucking situation that we've ever been in?
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. The people, let me tell you what I think. People, they prefer not to think about anything. That's the conclusion I've came with. See, like, I'm always thinking about something, and to me, it's like, how can you possibly not be thinking about something? At least that's the way my mind works. But I think what it is that people prefer to think of nothing. And so that's the problem. Like, if I'm explaining something to you so simple, how come you can't catch on? This is second grade math.
It is.
Second grade math. Let me give you an example. Okay. On November the 10th, 2021, AZ, the New York rapper, right, just came out with Do or Die 2. Now, this is the sequel to his first album, Do or Die, that came out in 1995. So on this album, it's called Do or Die 2. He has a song called Ritual, right? He has a song called Ritual, and it features Lil Wayne and Conway the Machine. So he has a song called Ritual, and the word ritual equals 27. And the very first time we ever heard of AZ was in 1994 on Nas's Illmatic album. Well, guess how long ago that was? 27 years ago. The first time we ever heard of AZ was 27 years ago. Now, 27 years later, he comes out with Do or Die 2, the sequel, and he has a song called Ritual, and Ritual equals 27, with Lil Wayne, who's been involved in so many rituals, as well as Conway the Machine, who's a rapper from Buffalo.
Well, Kanye's birthday is September 27th, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. So.
Right. So Conway the Machine, who's featured on the song, equals 77, and we all know about 77 as far as how it relates with 9/11. His debut album came out last year on 9/11, and it's called From a King to a God, and it came out on September 11th, 2020. And Conway the Machine equals 77, and we know all about the 77s with what happened on 9/11. And then Lil Wayne has been involved in multiple rituals. Lil Wayne, at Lil Wayne's height, right, when he was the hottest he ever was, he was 27 years old. So now AZ comes out with Do or Die 2, and he has a song called Ritual featuring these artists. And the first time we ever heard of AZ was 27 years ago, and the word ritual equals 27.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like how simple is that for somebody not to understand? Like,
well, and then it gives meaning because a lot of people know about the 27 Club. I mean, that's the thing. There's things in society that clue people into numbers, and then you show them this, and they're like, you know, they want to deny it. It's like, doesn't this provide meaning? It's just like, remember, Donald Trump was called president-elect on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Ritual equals 27 forwards, 45 in reverse. He becomes number 45, president-elect on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the wall when he runs on building a wall. And again, Ritual, 27 forwards, 45 in reverse. Going back to what you're saying, hip-hop's 45. And now you got a hip-hop star 27 years after his debut with the song Ritual.
Right, and it's arguably the best song on the album.
Somebody in the chat we were talking about said, and it's a banger, so they must like it.
Yeah, it's arguably the best song on the album. And so, you know, like, I got a lot to say about Tupac, but I'm going to let other people get in. So maybe you want to do a live tomorrow, maybe? Tomorrow night sometime?
No, tomorrow's going to suck, man. Tomorrow looks like a nightmare day for me, so I know tomorrow's not going to work. But any day after that you want to do it, we'll make it happen. But tomorrow's going to be one of the worst days of the week for me. I have so much to do.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, so sometimes, because I got a lot, because I wanted to add a lot to what you were saying as far as what George Clinton says at the beginning of that song, Can't See Me, where he says, you can't see the P. And I wanted to add on to that because I think that's very important. You know, that song itself is important. And then we'll do the song of the week and all that. But I'm gonna let other people get in. But I'll get back with you sometime this weekend.
All right, I look forward to it, Jonathan. By the way, did you see how Tupac's shooting was 47 days after George Clinton's birthday? And All Eyes on Me, the way he spelled it with the Z's, 47, like Nevada, like time.
Oh wow, no, I didn't catch that part. I did. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, 47 days. Yeah.
And then, okay, so he says we can't see the P, and remember the word P. There's a lot of big rappers with that name. Like for example, Prodigy. They used to call him P, and he supposedly was one of Tupac's enemies, and he died in Nevada too.
Right, right after his 42nd birthday during Sickle Cell Awareness, and Tupac rapped about that on "Hit 'Em Up." You know, making fun of.
Right.
Yeah.
And so his nickname was P, and then Tupac was the one who brought out the thug life. Like I never even really knew about that word until that's all Tupac ever talked about, thug. And then after he died, all these other rappers started coming out and basically copied his style, and everybody wanted to be a thug. For example, like Trick Daddy, and Trick Daddy his biggest song is called "I'm a Thug," and he has that same birthday, September 27th. And then you have Master P, who copied Tupac's style, right? And then you have Sean Price, who they call Sean P. You know what I'm saying? So that P, I think that you hit a real good point on that, on just that letter P. So that's what our show, when we do it, is gonna be about. Because I got a lot to say about that.
John, in the chat, people are writing Sean P, Styles P. Yeah, there's some P's out there. Master P. So.
Yeah, Styles P. I forgot about that one. Yeah. So Tupac has a song called "If I Die Tonight," which he died that same night. A couple days ago, right? 25 years ago. So he has a song called "If I Die Tonight." And if you listen to the song, and that's going to be the song of the week, by the way. So we'll dissect it line by line, right? But if you look at that song, he's rapping with every bar, he's using the word P, like poetry perfection, persistence. He's using that word, pod. So I've been looking at this letter P, and on that song, "If I Die Tonight," he's rapping with every P word you can imagine, and we'll dissect it line by line. But it's just so interesting that now what I think George Clinton is saying is that when he says you can't see the P, I think he's talking about Pac, obviously, but George Clinton also it gets credit for P-Funk and Parliament.
That's probably what he was using it for, but then, because they sampled that on the song, right? So the P connects to Pac. But yeah, I'm sure that's why he said that for P-Funk. Remember what, we got to go back and look at this a lot, because when that, what's the series called where the government makes it illegal to kill people? The Purge. There's another P word, Purge. But George Clinton's music, when the first film came out, when they kept advertising it, it was George Clinton. I think the song they were playing was Flashlight, if I remember right. I got to go back and look at that original advertisement for The Purge, but I know it was George Clinton's band for the music for that video. So Purge P. Somebody said Manly P Hall. People are laying out a lot of P's. Again, P is the 16th letter, and the Society of Jesus created in the 16th century, and SJ, the abbreviation next to Jesuits, is 16 as well. I think that's part of it as well, the SJ 16 thing. And so much stuff going down in the 16th century. Big century.
Right, and a lot of these words like politics, prison, probation, parole. Tupac did some time in prison. And pots. There's so many words that obviously you could do
pandemic. Pandemic. Somebody says in the chat. Pandemic. P.
Right. Right. Obviously you could do this with every word, but. Paris. By the way, West Side Gun, who Mac Hami signed to, West Side Gun, and he curated Pray for Haiti. There's another P, Pray, but West Side Gun curated or executive produced Mac Hami's Pray for Haiti, right? But West Side Gun has an album himself called Pray for Paris. Pray for Paris. That's West Side Gun's album. And Mac Hami signed to West Side Gun, and then Mac Hami comes out with Pray for Haiti. So I've been looking at this letter a lot, and
think about this: silent P, Pfizer, pandemic. People are going crazy with the P's in the chat, but yeah, there is something to this. That I thought about things like what we're doing right now, how we could really just start to think about why certain words have the letters in them that they do. Start with the letter they do, because there's so much more to all of it. There's so much to language. If I could do my life over again, the one thing that I would change is I would have gone into linguistics in college and studied language more. I guess you could still do that. If anybody's going to go to college, can you study language? We need some language experts, but I'm looking forward to the next stream. Go ahead.
Well, by the way, I went to when I got my bachelor's, I got it in English, because I've always been interested in this language and words. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much to. And think about it. These are some of the biggest rappers: Pac, Master P. You know, and there's a reason why they're using that specific letter, and I think it has a lot to do with what you just said with the 16th century, and you know, and the Jesuits, obviously, in Paris.
Yeah.
So
Pennsylvania. It all started here in Pennsylvania, P.
Pennsylvania, and look where Joe Biden's from. Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. What am I holding in my hand? A phone.
A pencil. I was going to guess a pencil, but a phone makes more sense. Okay, phone. Pen, pencil, writing utensils, language, 16th century. Yeah, you're right.
You know, and what I like about
Peter Pan, exactly.
What I like about what you've been doing is you're persistent. You've been persistent this whole time.
Have I had to change anything? Is there some point where I've been like, you know what, I've been just talking about the same shit over and over, haven't I? And backing it up.
You have. So I don't understand. See, these people who talk shit, they've never done shit.
Yeah, and they watch the news media. They have to change what the direction the wind's going almost every day. It doesn't even make any sense what they're saying. My shit adds up every day. Haven't had to change nothing. So.
All right, let me go. I'll let you go.
All right, it's the end of the show, Jonathan. We'll do a show tonight. We'll do a show. I can't do it tomorrow, but day after that, whenever next works, we'll make it happen.
Sometime this weekend, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometime this weekend.
Sunday's always a good day for a show, I feel like.
Okay, I'll be ready.
Yeah, I know we get more views when we do it on Sunday. Let's do it Sunday night then.
Okay, gotcha.
Sunday night show, everybody. All right, have a good one, Jonathan.
All right, peace.
All right, take care. You guys, I'm sorry to everyone on hold because the only problem with that, I always love talking to Jonathan, but the only problem is we ran out of show. So, like the call board, I can't even go to right now because it's the end of the show. The music's going to come on any second. And you know what? Next week's show, I want the Christians to call in who leave all these comments. I want you to explain to me what Jesus is doing to help end this tyranny right now. What we're doing what's Jesus doing for us right now, the future generations. And I just want to hear you guys say, like, all that's going to matter is because we're going to go to the promised place in the afterlife and be in heaven with our Father. That's what I want to hear. I want you to call the earth is mentioned in the Bible. And again, I won't say that you guys are wrong. I don't think you're right. I believe you're wrong. I can't definitively prove that you're wrong, but I don't think you guys have any evidence to back up anything you're saying. I know what I'm saying is at least making sense. You know, for you guys come here to shit on me in the name of Jesus, fuck you. Fuck you. Jesus hasn't done a fucking thing in the last 8 years. I've been here every day for you. Okay? Every day I've been here. Because I saw what time it was. Because I didn't want this time that we're now living in to come. And if back and listen to the earliest things I was saying, I was telling you why I didn't like religion. And how I thought religion is the reason we are where we are. I've been saying the same thing from the beginning. Those of you guys who think I'm harsher these days against religion, I might be speaking more harshly recently, but if you go back and listen to things I've said in the past, I've said all this before in the exact same way. You know, I'm just so sick of it, man. I'm so sick of it. I don't know if what I'm doing is good either. I mean, I could be wrong for doing this. I think I ran Randy off, and it's too bad because Randy's a great guy, and Randy's come out and pounded payment, but, you know, he's just uploading too many videos saying, like, Zach, you're just too mean to flat earthers, and Zach, you just need to be more patient. It's just like, more patient, man. We're fucked. I've been so patient. I've been seeing this whole thing coming from 20 years ago. You know, trying to wake people up. Now we're fucked. I mean, can I even have patience anymore? I mean, I've been patient, and it's like I was too patient. Anyway, I'll be back soon enough. I'm sure I'll make a video tomorrow. I was going to get on here and do a live stream yesterday, and I just didn't even want to talk about the 4464 thing. I get sick of talking about this, how people are being murdered or faking their deaths by the same damn code with the same damn parent every month. I think, God, how can I present this every damn month like this and nothing changes? You know, the world, the powers that shouldn't be keep doing it, and somehow the views seem to get smaller and smaller each month. The word's getting out less and less. Should be getting out more and more. It just, you know, it's frustrating. But we're going to keep going anyway. True Seeker, it's the only thing to do. So we'll leave it there, and until next time.